All right. Hi there. Come on in, grab a seat, and grab a drink if you want, and let's tell a story together. We are Legendary Resistance.
Legendary Resistance. Melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
And we will not offer any sort of hearing test, unfortunately, for what just occurred. So, when last we left the party, they were in quite a predicament.
A fun time and nothing happened.
No, it's totally great.
They have been investigating a series of thefts and smuggling operation at the docks of a city called Othandis, where most of them are from, on the western continent of Rye in the city, not the city, the world of Dane Rye. They were acting on behalf of a large corporation called the Great Western Exploratory Company. And they did find this smuggling operation, and
John.
it was, yeah.
Was John frozen? Oh, I thought I was
Yeah.
for a second.
Was I frozen?
We get to make up what happened.
Yeah.
So we filled in everyone that everything went fine.
Everything went swimmingly.
Let me-
Nobody almost died.
Yep.
Let me just read
Definitely
my
no
We're
one
notes.
going to
shot,
the
horrible
spa.
third-degree
We're going to the
burns.
spa today. Yeah.
Let me just read my notes.
I'm on the good internet line too. All right,
It's
so
Tom Giggler. Yes. First episode.
you know,
We are killing it.
It's wouldn't
We'll do
be
it live.
it wouldn't be live if there weren't issues.
Love it.
Okay.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
So, allow me to continue to try to catch you up. The party is currently navigating the political waters of the city of Othandis, and they thought they had found an ally in Leslane Indale, a member of the powerful clan Indale, half of the family that runs the city of Othandis itself. However, an altercation when they were confronted by Gamondavar, the person behind the smuggling operation that they were investigating, resulted in someone in particular throwing, was it how much gunpowder was it? How much?
Yeah.
Barrel.
Hi,
How
can
much
you
was
tell them
it?
how much gunpowder it was?
So
Yeah.
a small,
It was a small, large cannon keg of gunpowder.
yeah.
Okay,
Like, not
that's
not a
large
lot.
Yeah, so it wasn't
Like,
a full
A
massive,
couple
but
sticks of dynamite. You know.
Don't worry about it.
So
Yeah,
our
not important.
the artificer threw that, exploded it with a well-placed fire spell that is actually some sort of a gadget that runs up his arm, and in the explosion, maimed and almost killed Gamondavar, the powerful noble, earning the instant enmity of the entire clan. They fled. They made their way back into the city in different groups. One of them broke away and had her own little stop she had to make. But now they're back inside the city itself. It's nighttime, and they just witnessed Celeste's character, her mother, being let out by guards wearing the colors of Clan Devar, and she's being led away into the night. And so that is where we're going to pick up tonight, at this not at all problematic place in our story. What do you do?
And not to be anticlimactic immediately, but can you remind me if I had caught up to the group by this point and was witnessing this, or is this just the boys?
That's a great question, and you actually had. So you got there right when you saw them all stopping. They're at the far end of the street where they can just see the lantern light shining down from Celeste's family's home, the large stone facade, and the light kind of cascading out into the street. You can't quite see the guards yet, but you see them all stopping, and you recognize their figures from behind.
And how many guards are we seeing?
Yeah, there are
4?
4 guards there currently.
Are we live doing it now? Are we ready to start the story?
I asked, what do you do? We're playing Dungeons and Dragons, so play away.
I turn to... Go ahead, Wyatt.
I would like to start sprinting.
I grab him, if I can, and say, no one move.
Make an
So,
athletics check.
so I immediately regretted not speaking over you there.
That is our story, Jeremy and I.
Make an athletics check.
3.
Me?
I'll just say. What about an initiative check? Can I
No,
raise you
for,
in athletics?
So you can fail this automatically, Wyatt, if you want to.
I will.
So you feel the hand on
this
your
was
shoulder.
Again, how this played out in my mind was we were all going to start running, and the fact that I'm the only one and someone tries to grab me, I will recognize that and be like, this might be a bad idea again.
Yeah. So I see this going, and I start moving, and I hear Sebastian say, I'm just like, I'm tired of listening to you, and I'm tired of you telling me what to do.
All right, time out.
I'm tired of you telling me what to do.
All right, time out.
I'm tired of you telling me what to do.
All right, time out.
I'm tired of you telling me what to do.
All right, time out.
I'm tired of you telling me what to do.
There's a really bad echo, so just making sure that. Just making sure that.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Everyone, I know what it is. Hold on just a second. I know what it is. Hold on just a second. There we go. Okay. Problem solved. Back to the story now. All right. So, what are you guys doing?
So I grabbed Wyatt. He started running, and then Celeste
right.
is like, "I'm not listening to you. I'm going to start running too." Stop! 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 Stop!
Do I
Why?
see them all running from where I am?
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna purposefully walk. I'm not at a run yet, but I am striding very quickly towards them.
Okay.
And I'm gonna remind everybody of what we said in the group chat this morning about how none of us can remember Celeste's mom's name. Just in case it becomes relevant in, like, I don't know, 10 seconds.
Celestina.
Okay, great.
Stop!
Why? Give me one good reason why my mother is dragged into the street so that you want me to fucking stop.
I'm going to pull my hood up over my head, and then I'm going to pull my hood back, and I'm going to look like Corman. I will remind people who that is, and that is the guard, the head of the guard that we fought on the docks.
And how are you going to do that?
I'm going to use my new Eldritch invocation called Mask of Many Faces.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
All right. So,
You get a cookie.
there is
Good job.
a brief.
Yeah.
There's a
See it,
brief
I step back.
dark shimmer that, as he pulls his hood up, you see this almost as if the air becomes really hot and warm in front of his face and wavy. And it's already dark, and you only see each other by lantern light in the distance. So his face is completely obfuscated. When he brings it back down, he looks exactly like the man that you remember from earlier. Corman, the man from the docks who was defending Gamondabar.
And in his voice, I say,
Okay.
"Listen, if you
Don't
want to go
mess it
kill
up.
these guards, if you want to go kill them, then you'll have that chance. But let's give this a shot."
Pause.
Okay.
I'm imagining that we're, like, kind of meeting from opposite ends of the street, and I kind of, like, paused for a second.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
my
I
one worry
glance up
about
and
this-
see Diz.
And I'm, like, taking stock of who's now behind him and realizing maybe what happened.
Fine. We'll try it your way,
Why
but
Sorry.
but I'm giving you 30 seconds.
That entire time, Wyatt is just looking at Celeste like, I follow whatever you say, because I pissed you off so much last time. Listen
And we're
to me.
right.
If we fight these guards in the street here, we're going to start a war.
I think
maybe
we
we need-
already started that.
Maybe we can get out in time. Just give me a shot. And then I'm going to start walking over towards the guards.
Okay, so at this point, they've made their way out into the street. They've actually turned to the north, and so they're starting to walk into a slightly different part of the street that goes between several of these large, nice manor homes in the Fog Quarter, and in Fog Harbor, and where they're walking through kind of gardens and these beautiful landscaped areas, even a fountain out there. And so it's well lit, though. You can see it. There's plenty of light from the surrounding houses, where you can see where they are.
Halt!
Okay.
As he says that, I would like to kind of, I'm assuming Celeste and I are kind of following from a decent ways back, and even then, I would like to collar up and even just kind of into the shadows a little bit, not like I'm completely stationary,
Sure.
but just walking mosey.
Okay.
Like to keep walking by like I have been before, as if I just live here and I'm casually walking to my own house, but I'm keeping an eye on the situation.
Okay. They stop, and the two in the rear turn, and one of them looks at you, and this is the first time you get a good look at their uniforms. They seem slightly different. They're a little more formal than most of the city guard uniforms that you've seen, and two of you recognize them, especially Celeste. You realize these are the Clan Devar harpoon guards. They are the highest of their city guard. They're most elite guards they have for the family. So one of them,
Exciting.
One of them looks and says, "What do you want?"
You're just gonna parade her through the streets? We haven't caught the four we're looking for yet. What if they see you?
They look at each other.
What's the matter with you?
Who are you?
Oh, that's bad.
It's not great.
Really? You don't know who I am? Really?
No.
I'm looking up my name, and it is Corman. I'm Corman. I'm Gamon's personal guard.
Oh. Right, well, that's excellent. Corman, was it? However, we're not here on behalf
I knew I should have been the Devar. I knew I should have been the Devar.
Right. Well,
I don't say it out loud.
yeah. So he kind of nods a little bit, and then he says, "Well, we're here on." And then, as he's about to say something, a larger person comes like striding out of the shadows further to the north. And it's a large, older, seasoned man with weathered lines in his dark skin, wearing an even more elaborate uniform bearing the same colors. He comes in, and you realize all of them have they're harpoons, but they're stylized, much more finely crafted harpoons, all on their back. And he also has a long sword at his hip. And he comes into the area, scanning with an easy authority. And he says, "What's going on? Why are you not bringing her?" What?
We're gonna use her as bait. I'm here to take her back to the house.
You'll forgive me if I don't answer to common people upon the street. What is your name?
Do you not know who I am? Do you not know who Gamon Devar is?
I'm well acquainted with Lord Devar, and the fact that you use his name so flippantly makes me believe that you are not as acquainted as I am.
I'm his body servant, his main guard.
Very well. Then you should be with him in this hour of great need, and not here giving orders to members of the Harpoon Guard.
Well, obviously I should be here, because you fools are parading this woman through the streets when we're trying to catch the four that we're looking for. This woman is no consequence. She should be used as bait to catch the other four, the ones who blew him up in the docks.
So, your orders come from Lord Gamon, correct?
That's
Unfortunately
Gold
for
Star.
you, my orders come from Lady Sylviana.
Do I have any idea who that is?
You do not.
Fuck.
Do I?
Yes, you do. Lady Sylviana is the leader of Clan Devar. She is the head of the family.
This was such a good plan when I planned it out in my brain.
And yet here we are.
As per usual in D&D.
So, I believe we are at a point where you would then say, I understand, my lord, and I apologize, and then go watch over your charge.
She is my charge.
In that case, very well. You may follow us.
I can't very well let you take her without some sort of argument. Otherwise, I have to answer to my lord.
Let us take her?
That's right.
There's nothing for you to do. There's no way for you to stop us from taking her.
What is happening on the street around me right now?
So, make a perception check.
Oh, God. 15 plus probably nothing. Yep, 15.
Okay. So, you look around the street really quickly, your eyes just kind of darting back and forth in the brief pause in this conversation, and you see people looking out their windows, curious.
Shit.
You don't notice any movement in the alleyways or side streets of the district, but you definitely see some prying eyes from above.
So I'm going to turn to Wyatt and be like, I think I've given him 30 seconds, don't you?
Yes, but I do want to point out that we are kind of outnumbered here, Celeste. Maybe just wait until that leader, skedaddles. But I'm gonna give my little goat skin a pump and be like, I'm following you.
I'm gonna storm up to the guy that looks like he's in charge.
And I follow.
Okay, so Celeste hikes up her skirts and strides up purposefully to this man.
Where are you going? Has my mother said anything in all of this?
No.
Like, what does she look like?
She looks absolutely terrified. Her hands are clasped tightly in front of her. You thought she was bound. Realize she's not. Once you get this close, you look and see she's just holding her hands like desperately close together, and you see how white her knuckles are, and she looks terrified. But in a way you're proud to notice, she still looks regal, upright, poised. She's scared, but that doesn't stop her from being who she is.
All right. Yeah, so I'm just going to storm up to him and be like, where are you going with her?
I'm sorry, are you of relation to this woman?
Yes.
Very well. Well, then you may accompany us as well. Pardon, wait. What is your name?
While they're having this conversation, can I step behind this head guy? Like, nonchalantly?
Okay. We are about to get to the point where I'm going to have to bring up the map.
Yeah. I tried so hard.
It's such a bad idea, but yeah.
I mean, I blew up half the fucking city. You can do bad ideas all you want.
I'm not gonna leave my mom to be dragged off to prison for something your dumbass did.
Hey, I was saving us, I think.
Wait in like 10 minutes for us to find out that this is for a completely different reason. Like your mom was embezzling or something.
You take that back.
Celeste, you do note that your father is nowhere to be seen.
Wouldn't he be at work?
It is after sunset, so it's actually fairly late. It's like 10 p.m.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I'm gonna storm up to him and be like, so, I've answered my questions. Are you going to answer mine?
We are taking her to the House of Authority, as you, a citizen, should be completely aware. However, if you are family, you may accompany us, and you're welcome to file a complaint with
I'm gonna stab him.
clan authority. Okay, everyone,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to roll initiative then.
You're stabbing him?
You're not,
Yeah.
so. I will
move
say,
ourselves?
you're not going to be able to just walk up beside this guy who's like talking to
Oh,
everyone.
I wasn't
and
trying to
just
get
stab
beside him. I was trying to get beside him.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so we're all going to have to, I'll put you where you are. So we can say you got it about right there. Celeste straight up to him. So Celeste is right beside of him, which is awesome because she's a wizard. And Y, I don't know where Y is. You can move yourself where you are.
I was right behind Celeste. I'm following Celeste like a puppy.
So you're up here. And
Where? So I'm.
Where's
I'll let you say that you went up there then.
Okay.
All right,
he's-
so
the guy's here.
that's correct.
Why have you taken her?
He says, this good woman is being brought in for questioning. If she knows
Regarding?
the assassination attempt on Lord Gimon, we must see if she has information, if she knows the perpetrators behind this. She is connected to them. Which, again, I ask, what is your name, good woman? Now we're going to have to roll initiative because Jeremy said I stabbed him
He did
earlier.
say that, but I
so,
thought we were gonna like move right past
So I'm gonna
her.
be over
between
here.
bluffing
then.
and stabbing.
If my stabbing action sets off initiative, then I would like to be close. Let's click our tokens to make sure that.
that's right. Everybody make sure you click your token. Okay.
Can we agree that Y didn't do this for once?
We agree that Y didn't do it. Once I click my token, isn't it supposed to, oh, did it put me, no, it didn't put me in there.
I'll get you in there.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And you got 21 thanks to me. So that's pretty amazing.
Well, I rolled that, but yeah.
Sure you did.
Okay.
More familiar with what my fancy new maneuvers.
She really did.
I know.
All right.
Our initiative doesn't suck this time. This is very exciting.
I'm a little bit nervous.
First time for
about
everything,
that,
I
to be
guess.
honest.
Strange.
Yeah.
Looks like the viewer on our stream is still, the dice roller is still not working, so I'll have to fix that later. But for now, we'll just keep going. So when you guys roll something, just make sure you call out what you roll.
I'm gonna get a natural 20 for every single roll I make. Just a heads up.
Yeah, I can still see it. It's other people that can't see it. So.
We're
Well,
just
not gonna
rolling
be
them at
lying about all
home.
my natural 20s, you guys.
I do actually like to roll dice. I'm gonna roll dice.
All right, so
How bad is it if I use magic? It's real bad, right?
yes, is definitely an issue if you use magic. So, but I got a feeling that Jeremy will absolutely use magic and say he wasn't going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look over at Celeste and say, "Don't use fucking magic," and then cast shield.
Okay.
This guy.
So it looks like Bast is going to be going ahead and swinging.
I will Hex Blades curse him.
What?
Don't use magic.
It's not a spell. It's an ability.
Not magical at all.
How's that? 19? Does a 19 hit, John?
It sure
Or
does.
sorry, a 20.
Yeah, 20 does hit
Because
barely.
of mine. Okay. And I will do 13 slashing damage to him with a sword that is magical.
Okay.
Well,
I feel very sheepish after trying to not do this.
All right. So.
Oh no, sorry, 15 damage because of the Hexblade's curse. Sorry.
15
get my
damage.
proficiency modifier added to that as well.
Okay. All right.
He's
So
dead?
obviously he's dead. There's no one that can survive 15 damage in this entire world. Luckily for you. So yeah. So you're at this point you're right next to him, Celeste and this man whose name you still aren't aware of, are having this conversation. It's getting a little heated as he's explaining to her kind of what her options are and really beginning at this point to suspect there's a connection that he needs to investigate, and is not paying attention to you, Bast, at all. He clearly feels that it's an impossibility that anyone would attack him, and instead your sword snakes out of its sheath and whips across. Actually, this is your magical sword that you just summoned, right?
This is my packed weapon.
That's right. So
It's really subtle. It's super subtle.
No, I'm not gonna summon it and be like, "Gah!" and then it appears. I'm just gonna keep it in my scabbard. There's no reason for it to disappear right now.
it is out in a moment, and you send it raking down his body. It scrapes through metal, and you realize he's covered in armor. He's got this large cloak with this uniform tabard over it, but there is definite, very thick, heavy metal armor under. But you still find purchase just under the armpit and on his side, where he's not quite as protected, and you can feel it bite and then you yank it out. But instead of him falling over, he turns and looks at you surprised and doesn't even reach for the wound. He just starts to glare at
like
you.
this. How do we run away from this? What's the spell that lets us run away?
Step.
Fellas,
I
kill them
think
all.
that's.
All right,
I'm so scared right now.
That is how everyone feels when they actually fight Jeremy in real life, is what Jeremy's feeling right now. That thing is funny.
All right,
Fun
so
part is we finally are going live, and we're just gonna last for about 5 minutes. Been
You're
fun.
gonna die. Let's do
TPK.
this.
10 minutes TPK. Nailed it.
all right, so I'm going to get Celeste to go. It's your turn.
Okay. 2 questions, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Can we use our new spells, even though we have not yet had a long rest?
I will allow it.
Okay. Second question. Can I cast a spell and use sleight of hand to try to do it sneakily?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay. So I want to straighten, just in horror watch as once again Sebastian's clearly using magic. Semantics. Clearly using magic after being don't do this, stay in your corner. And the guy's, tunic sliced open like that, right? And I just look horrified, and I turn and I'm taking the situation in my own hands, and I turn to him and I go, I think perhaps you don't understand the situation. She has nothing to do with this. I suggest you leave her inside and go about your business. And I'm gonna cast suggestion.
Okay.
I'll pop it in the chat for us.
All right. Let's see here. So that is going to be a spell save DC 14, and it is a let's see. It's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yep.
Okay. So let's see what old this fellow whose name you don't know can do.
Hopefully he's not very wise. Hopefully he's as wise as I am.
So he looks at you and blinks, and he says, and he's got his hand on his sword already because he was just attacked. And I'm going to need you to really quickly tell me exactly what you just said and what you're trying to accomplish here.
Okay. So I look at him and I suggest she has nothing to do with this. I suggest you leave her here and go about your business.
Okay.
And then I also rolled my sleight of hand check with a 20.
Oh, yes. Yes. The queen.
Finally.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not the lady you're looking for.
So he looks at you and he says, "But your man just attacked me. What am I supposed to do? How can I leave?"
I'm sure an error that he will not make again.
Put my sword away. Slipped.
He puts a hand on the wound under his arm, and it is most unwise for you to have her here out in the night.
Absolutely.
I understand that it might be the best course of action currently, but you must know it can't go on much longer.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Especially with the reinforcements that will be here in moments.
Of course.
So, we should wait, and we will wait.
Or go about your business.
Men, check the perimeter. And they nod and start to fan out. Does anyone else do anything?
I put my sword away and say, "You should go about your business again."
God damn it, I should have been more clear.
My business is to stand here.
My business is to stand here. And by that, I meant please go away.
So he nods and...
Duck into, like, a doorway, or if there's, like, an alley or, like, a porch area on one of these houses and pretend that I live there.
Okay, make a deception check.
That's probably gonna be bad.
Okay. Are we still in initiative?
I'm going to say at this point, no.
Okay. So I would like to put my arm around my mother's.
Okay, so she does come over to you,
And I want to, like, just try to start walking away.
Okay. So you do that, and he says, "Wait, hold. Well, you said we should leave her here."
Is he by himself right now?
The other guys have fanned out, yes.
I said she had nothing to do with this and didn't know anything about it. So yes, you should leave her here.
You said we should leave her here. And I
I'm
think
gonna
that
walk
is a
behind
very
him.
wise thing to do, but we must make sure she is safe until the reinforcements get here. And if we do not report back, I don't have to tell you how big of a problem that could be.
That was a 16 on the deception roll, John.
So you're casually leaning up against the doorway of your home, looking out curiously at this commotion, what's going on in this beautiful gardened courtyard. Why? What are you doing?
I am watching Celeste in awe because I did not see her cast magic. So I'm like, wow, she is persuasive as fuck. And I'm just nodding, like, I'm just, her bodyguard, like, better listen to her. That kind of thing.
I'd like to then just be like, you're absolutely correct. We need to make sure she's safe, and she's going to be the safest away from here. And I'd like to try to persuade him to let me take her away.
Make a persuasion check.
Keep up the hot streak.
No!
He starts shaking his head and he says, I'm afraid that there are powers greater than me at stake here. We must find these people, and I'm very aware that she is connected to you in some way, and we do need to discuss this. However, it is beyond my power to have her escorted away from this small courtyard, even in your presence.
In the beginning of his sentence, I would like to stand behind him and hold the hilt of my sword and look at Celeste with like a questioning look.
Okay.
And how Celeste is lined up, like I assume he's here, Celeste is here, and I'm literally right behind. So Y's head just like peeks over Celeste's shoulder, and it's just like, isn't she kind of like in danger out here? Shouldn't we like get her inside, so we can still be here, but like inside where it's safer, and you could protect the entrance, and then just right behind Celeste again.
So Celeste nods. So I'm gonna hit him again.
Oh my god.
And the spell.
It's not into what?
Okay, so
You're almost out of it.
we're back in initiative order.
Damn it.
Okay.
Is it the same initiative?
I'm just gonna leave it. So
Well, good thing I had an idea.
so
I was waiting for a signal. I was like, yes or no.
Yeah, I get it. I hear you. Great.
So Bash just ignores Y. Just ignores his whole conversation. It's just like
I'm just looking at Celeste.
waiting for a not stab. Like
So go ahead and roll an attack roll, bud.
If it's not obvious that you weren't looking at me, I won't do this. But it looked like you just went like
you
this.
said you did it. I think. I mean.
I think stab it away.
You already said
stab.
you already said you did. So just go ahead and
Yeah.
All right.
Let's just.
Do I get
roll this on
advantage
out.
because he's not looking at me?
Is that a rule in Dungeons and Dragons that you get advantage if someone's not looking at you? You're not a rogue, are
It's
you?
for sneak attack or if we're
like
doing
the guy's like,
flanking
"Is
rules.
No.
I like flanking.
Mom, an ally? Because if you took another step, you could probably be flanking.
Ugh.
Not with that roll, but like, you know.
I don't think
hypothetically.
John does flanking rules.
No. We've never played with flanking, so
Oh, okay.
it's just not something.
That's more like surprise, right? Because he's like focused on something.
Oh, that's
Whatever.
a good point.
So upset.
He's really focusing on the Y slapstick comedy that's going on.
All right, so
Flank.
So Celeste, you're having this conversation with him, and you're trying to to really convince him, and you see him, and he's looking at you, and you realize that he would never be still standing here in a million years, but your spell is just still gripping his mind, but he can't turn that corner. He's looking at. No, I understand. We must stay in the. And then you're like, but we need to leave. And as soon as you do that, he's, and his face is just kind of twisting up, like, but that doesn't make sense. I can't do so.
Right.
And then Wyatt leans over, says that thing. You nod, and you hear bang.
I'm so sorry.
And you see that confusion fade. And he just glances, and then his hand is in his sword, and now everybody back to initiative. So, that's Bast and that's Celeste. Luckily for you guys, these guys are now a little bit further away. So...
There's a moment in all of this intensity where I'm also like trying not to smile because I'm so impressed with myself right now. Like, holy shit, this spell actually worked. I'm amazing.
True.
That's still awesome.
I'm so powerful.
Does the spell end if he doesn't hit him? Like if he doesn't cause damage?
I
mean, either way, I don't.
It's any attack.
I'm sure.
Is what I think anyway. But we can look at the spell really quick.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna hit him.
If you or any of your companions damage the target,
Damn
that is
Oops,
that is
sorry. Excuse me.
That's really
Say is why no one listened to the half orc.
that's really
It's up to you, John.
that's really stupid. Okay.
Well, then you can rule it otherwise, man. It's your game. Like,
Yeah, I'm going to rule it
End it.
otherwise because like
cool.
So
We're
think
gonna
about
fucking
it.
kill him, or we're gonna die.
yeah. Okay, so at that point, the guards they're kind of confused too. They're just like, I don't know why we're doing this, and so they're looking out into the night, kind of like looking for what he mentioned earlier, and then they hear that metal on metal. They turn and look, and begin sprinting back into this corridor. Right there, and he attacks Celeste. So
Me.
that's right.
But I'm just a sweet, innocent. Oh,
Does a 12 hit you?
probably.
Oh
No, it does not
Because for some reason the fighter has the lowest AC in the party.
That's
make
fine.
any sense.
Okay, so he comes over and he tries to hit you with like the butt of his spear,
And I'm like,
and you like just barely jerk out of the way, and it blows right past your nose. And why you are now up?
Oh shit. Okay. I pull out one of those vials of acid that I got from the alchemy jar,
Yep.
and I'm literally like 10 feet from the guy that just tried to hit Celeste, and I'm just gonna like toss it there, just like really gently. But it should like not like hard enough to break, but like I mean it's like he's like right there.
Yeah, I was just about to say it just goes boom, and falls on the
I'm
ground.
gonna like salt bam with some acid.
It's like beer pong.
Okay.
Do I need to roll?
You need to make an attack
Either
roll.
way,
Just like
it's a natural 19. So I'm assuming I
That
hit
hits
him
him.
because it's gonna be something.
That
Yeah,
hits
okay.
him. Yeah.
John?
So it's 2d6 damage.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's
The
2.
map does not seem to be updating, says chat.
The map
And I'm looking
is-
at it, and they're right.
That is correct.
Oh,
Wait,
no,
no, it is. Yeah, it has.
Is that
Yeah,
better?
it has.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Let's see.
I
Thank
don't
you,
know who
chat.
Joshua is, but I love that guy. So yeah, it's 8 points of acid damage to this nice young harpoonist.
Okay, so White pulls something out from inside of his jacket and just like kind of almost casually slings it forward. It hits this person right in the neck and shatters, and you hear this like deep hissing sound emanating from his body. He starts clawing at his neck, and you can see it eating away and revealing things inside of him. You see veins, you see his actual esophagus. It doesn't erode it completely and kill him, but he now has a large open wound where his neck and chest meet.
I need to know about that.
And Wyatt is both like horrified and super fascinated by this. Like if no one else was there, he'd like sit him down and like study this as he like cured him. But anyway.
All right, and do you want to move?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Great. Diz, you are up.
I have a mechanics question.
Yes, ma'am.
On one of my maneuvers, it says that I need to hit the target with a weapon attack to expend the superiority die.
Okay.
It doesn't specify melee like it does with the rest of my maneuvers. So would you allow me to do that with a ranged attack?
Which one is it?
Trip.
Well, yeah, you can do that from a ranged attack. It's basically you shoot someone's foot or whatever, their knee, you know?
Great, okay. So I'm gonna take a step so that I have a clearer line of sight to Mr. Big Man over here, and I'm going to fire at him with my crossbow.
Come on, trip attack.
And if it hits, I'm going to expend the superiority die to trip him.
Unfortunately, it shatters against so you send it, and you think you've hit him perfectly, but then you hear this kind of crunching sound as it hits and then just shatters against his metal thigh.
Dang. Then I guess I'm gonna run over here behind this tree where no one can see me. Right?
Right.
You've got,
Right?
you've got half cover. I mean, they did see, something fly at this
The
large
half orc in a
man.
fancy dress, that's all.
That's right. Fancy dress gives you advantage. I know I'm not going to say that because you guys are going to think it's gospel and try to get me to stand by it later.
Okay, why change it into a fancy dress?
Fancy dress!
All right,
We have all
so
Celeste
changed
is
to
always
fancy dress.
fancy.
okay, so guard. This guard is going to run up, and he is going to. He's going to tackle Bast. So it is time for.
We should probably just go, guys.
Oh, I absolutely think we should run away.
So he makes a 15 on his athletics check to grapple you.
And that I can use my strength or dexterity against the grappler's strength. Is that right?
That's right.
Acrobatics or athletics?
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to use acrobatics. What does a
Oh, that was an
19
accident.
What's a 19
Don't
give me?
look at what's in the chat.
Yeah. So why? Don't worry, you did not cast fairy fire. Okay. Yes.
Yep.
So he comes.
Do it.
He comes and he grabs the fabric of your arms and starts to pull you in, and you slip,
down.
and you just pull your arms together like that, and you hit him and then bash him away. So it's and he ends up just looking at you frustrated, but he does not grapple you. And that is his turn.
Ask on my turn.
Mhm.
Do I recognize this big guy?
I'm going to let you make a straight up intelligence check. I'll let you retroactively do that since no one has asked that question, and it's incredibly pertinent.
Thank you. That's a
It's a 12.
12.
You've seen him before. Again, at major city functions, but
Okay.
you can't quite place his name.
Okay.
All right. So this guard is going to. Let's see. He can just get to Y, so he's going to. He saw how miserably his friend failed, so he's just going to stab Y with his spear. And I don't think an 8's going to do it. And so.
He was like, whoa now.
Yeah, and so he swings wildly at you, and you just kind of sidestep it and give him a glare. And this last one, he can't quite get there in time. And it's now to Captain Taurus. All right. So he is going to, and you know what? Just for fun, I'm going to roll him with this.
Oh no.
All right. So
That one. Here we go.
let's see here. Does a 23 hit you, Jeremy?
18, 19. Yep. Can't do anything about that.
Yeah. Okay. So he's swinging. He swings with his. He pulls his longsword in a
Blade.
flash. Just this blur of steel against the lantern light. He swings it two-handed, and you try. You start to move, and by the time you just started to try to dodge it, it hits you. And for let's see here.
1,000 damage. I'm going to use magic
Only
again.
5. Only 5, and now he's going to attack again.
No. Don't do that.
This time with just a 13. That misses, correct?
What a loser. That's right.
Okay.
AC 17.
There we go. All right, so the second time, though, you do manage to evade now that you've seen how quickly his blade can move through the air. And now it is Celestina, who is full-on panicking. She is... And she spends her entire turn going, "What are we doing? What are you doing, Celeste? You have to stop. No, we're so sorry." And she's half cowering, half gripping your sleeve to death, as if she is wringing it like a towel. And she is panicking. That's all she does for her entire turn. She's about to hyperventilate. And we're back to Bast.
Oh, damn it. And they're just people looking at us from windows everywhere.
Oh yeah, now everyone's looking. They hear combat outside. They hear metal on metal.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about these people. Damn it. So sleight of hand is the way we cast magic without being seen. Is that right?
That's right.
That's what I did.
Now, like, there are some spells that it's just not. I mean, like, if you cast, you know, fireball, or like, you know, like it's
Eldritch Blast.
Don't worry about it.
Blast. Fuck. No. All right. I'm just gonna try to swing at this dude again. Let's hit the button. Let's see what happens. Up, swing at him with my long sword. That's pretty good.
that hits him. Yeah.
Excellent. So 6, 7, 8 damage.
Okay.
Ugh. Natural 1. That's terrible. And yeah, I guess I'll stand here.
Excellent.
Ugh.
All right, Celeste. And why? I want you to go ahead and think about what you're going to do next as well.
Gotcha. Covered.
Great. I'm gonna put my arm around my mother and be like, "We're leaving," and
So
try to fucking book it and take her with me.
Okay, so he's going to get an attack of opportunity on you.
Yeah, he sure is.
Does a 16 hit you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And
Oh, yeah.
so that's going to be...
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. You got lucky. You rolled a 1. So he only does 4 damage to you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So just the very tip end of his sword catches you in the shoulder.
Okay. So like hits me in the shoulder, and I just like use that like fiery pain to like push forward and dash.
Okay.
So
Move where you
I'll
want,
use-
and I'm going to. Well, you're half dragging your mother.
so I probably am slowed.
Correct. Yeah. So it's going to be half movement as you pull her along as she frantically begs you not to go.
Is
Don't
it
get
the
her full movement though if she was trying to dash at half
Yes.
movement?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
which direction did we come from, John?
You came from the west
And is that
in this
in the
map
city?
anyway.
In the city, would I know if that's the way I should go now to get out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
To go back, that's kind of back the way you came.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I'm just off the map here.
Yeah, that's east.
Oops.
But
yeah, I know my directions totally.
It's all right. It's all good.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay. And there's Celestina's with you.
Celestina, let's go.
Okay.
And I also want to spend the time being like, it's okay, we just have to leave.
Make a persuasion check. Okay, you do your best to kind of like say these like slow. It's gonna be okay, Mom. It's gonna be okay. No, you have to come with me. And you just kind of murmur to her as you go along. There's no obvious effect at the moment, but you're hoping that it can kind of bring her some sort of or at least calm her
Do
down
you know
a little
where
bit.
Father is?
No, I don't know where he's gone so many nights now.
Okay, just take a deep breath. We're gonna be fine. We just have to leave.
And so this guard's going to step forward, and he's already been hit with acid. So he's going to one-handed stab. Actually, no, he will definitely go and attack the guy who hit him with acid.
Yeah.
And he is going to stab one-handed
Fair.
at Y with a 15.
That's my armor class.
That usually means it hits them. 4 damage.
Son bitch.
And it is your turn now.
Awesome. That guy, he runs up and hits me, and I was like, man, I didn't want to do this, and I do the bladder with the hand Celeste thing that taught me, and I will do my version of firebolt, and
So
1D.
I want to point out really quickly, even if this
Yeah.
is mostly mechanical, and we will have a deeper conversation about the philosophy of magic and physics and how even mechanics are influenced by magic in a magical world, but
Sure.
it's still going to look like magic to these people, right? I mean, like fire is coming
Okay.
out of your hand,
Right.
so they're just
I'm
gonna.
fine.
Okay, I just want you to know
I'm cool with that.
that's what it's going to look
Yeah.
like to everybody. Go ahead, you do firebolt. He has to.
That is.
That's an attack roll, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you make?
That is 7 plus 2 plus 4, so 11, 12, I think.
So
9,
that
10,
math right?
13.
So you extend your arm, and again, fire gushes out of the small opening just below your palm, and he sees it comes out, and he goes, and like leans back, and it hits his chest, but you can see it burns away the uniform and exposes the chainmail that is now warm and glowing hot beneath it, but the clothing and the steel absorbed all of the damage that he possibly could have taken.
Like putting your jammies on, like fresh out the dryer, and like the zipper on the front. Does he take any damage from like the hot metal?
I'm gonna say
From the hot zipper.
I'm gonna say he's exceedingly uncomfortable.
Okay.
That makes,
I tried.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I liked it.
yeah. He's
It was a good argument.
also
Inspiration.
uncomfortable because his trachea is exposed, but he's not having a good day in general.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah. Okay. Why? Do you want to do anything else?
I can't. I
Okay.
can't really do much.
All right, Diz.
See if there's like a straight shot to hit this big guy from anywhere I can get.
If you go, let's see here.
Down this direction, I think, from the map.
Yeah. So, like, do you see where my line
Yeah.
is?
Okay.
So you can
So
pop
I'm gonna
out
move
over
over there,
there.
and I'm gonna step around this lovely little topiary again. I'm gonna fire again with my crossbow.
Okay.
16 hit.
It actually does not.
Okay.
So
Oh.
it hits him in the shoulder and then glances off again the armor. You are exposing some of his armor, though, beneath his ceremonial outfit.
Okay, so I'm gonna use the rest of my movement. So that was 10, 20, 25. Ooh, I'm gonna... Actually, I'm gonna hang out again behind my little topiary.
Okay. All right. So this guard is going to attempt to stab again, and 21 on you, Bast.
Hits.
Okay. And that's going to be for 7 damage.
Ugh.
Yeah. And he's going to stay right there on top of you. This guy up here is going to attack Y, and 13 misses you.
It does.
All right. And this guard is now going to come up here and attack Bast as well. And 15, does that hit you?
Miss.
And so he stabs it, and you just barely dance over to the side. But you guys in the front are starting to get ganged up on.
Yep.
Now it's Captain Taurus' turn again. And he is going to... and he's furious. His face is just contorted with rage. And so he's going to swing very powerfully back at you again for a hilarious 10. That misses you. And then he's so mad, he's just swinging wildly. And that was a 14. So
Love it.
misses you twice. Celestina is gripping your arm and still begging you to stop. At this point, you guys, those of you who are not surrounded by armed guards, you hear a and it's the sound of mailed feet hitting the paving stones around you. And another guard emerges. Another guard emerges. Another guard. And you see guards just coming from the north, one after the other, as they all file into this small wooded
No big deal. Someone
area.
give me a keg of gunpowder.
Let's see, just a couple more here. And we're almost. Yeah, there we are. Great.
Great, good,
Delightful.
great. Looks
Good,
great.
perfect, wonderful.
That's
No
only
problem.
10. Come on.
That's good.
We're doing fine with 5.
So, Bast,
Yeah.
what'd you like to do?
All right. Well, I see fire come spurting out of Wyatt's arm, and I see Celeste changing her mind about sticking around.
Excuse
So
me?
I will go through the tree to right. Sorry, hold on. Here
Okay.
with Misty Step.
Okay.
And
So-
then I will
Yeah.
take my action to move.
So you just cast Misty Step?
He sure
Oh
did.
yeah, but it was after Wyatt shot fire from his hand, so it's fine.
Sure.
10, 20, 20,
One is
30.
easily explainable. Watch.
The
And
worst.
then this is where you are, right? Who's this?
This
Is
is
the
the little green
Yes.
green bubble.
So-
Oh, hell.
You just ran over to somebody's house. Evidently, Diz's
Sorry,
house,
don't do
because
that then.
that's where Diz was pretending she lived.
You just
Okay,
is like
gotcha.
my fine
Uh,
God.
They're gonna storm that house later.
No, I'm gonna go over
People getting in trouble for something.
here and then move off the map.
Okay. So,
But keep an eye keep an eye on my people. Like run out there and then stop.
so you're standing there in front of Captain Taurus with your sword. You've been kind of dueling back and forth and trying to dodge these spears that are coming at you, and you realize there are 3 people on you. You glance over your shoulder, you see Celeste and Celestina running. You realize that Y now has 2 people, and as you're looking, you see and hear 10 more guards come from the north. And the rest of you see this. You see you see Bast bring his sword to his chest and close his eyes, and then it's like his shadow folds in on him. It's the darkness and specifically like his shadow, like what light, what shadow is being cast from his body seems to kind of like fold in on his body, and then and the shadow slinks rapidly over to another part of the courtyard, and then it unleashes him, and he's running even as he comes out of it, and darts and jumps over the topiary, cuts around a tree, and is in the alleyway, making his way away from combat.
So hold on a second. Let me make sure this is doable. So we went 30 and then 30 more. All right, I'm going to take a shot with my crossbow at the big guy.
Misty Step's a bonus action, right?
Taurus. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. So I will shoot a bow at him. And 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No way, 12 hits him. All right, so
No, it flies over his head harmlessly. All right, Celeste, you're up.
Oh my God. So I'm gonna turn to my mother and just like rub her arms and be like, I need you to look at me. I need you to focus. We have to get out of here. I need you to run. So can I do another persuasion?
Yes.
So much better. So
So
much better.
that was a 21. We've been really bad about announcing our rolls. And she says, okay,
pick up my skirts and just dart.
Okay. Yeah, you run past Bast where he is now.
And as I'm passing him, I'll be like, nice job with no magic. Let's get the fuck out.
All right, and you are out. This guard is going to take this opportunity to attack Y again.
Nah.
And that's a natural 20.
Nah.
Wyatt, stop.
And that is... looks like 12 damage.
Okay, level 3. Awesome. Okay.
Ooh, tickles a little.
And now Y, it's
I
your
think I would be
turn.
dead. When Bass does his thing, I'm gonna look super surprised. I'm like, holy shit, magic! And then I'm gonna disengage and run 30 feet.
So when that happened, you look over surprised, and then the next moment of surprise you have is when a spearhead goes into your gut, just to the left of your stomach, and it comes back out, and you look down and you see how wounded you are.
Yeah, I will disengage and say sorry. I didn't know he was a magician, and then run away as fast as my feet will take me.
Okay.
So I'm 30 feet away.
Excellent. It was only the instinct that you've learned through the battles that you've had that you didn't get completely impaled and killed. Like, as soon as the spear tip touched you, you instinctively moved back just enough where it just barely went in and drew blood. And so you're bleeding, but you're not dead. So that experience, almost like if you'd gone up a level of experience, if you can imagine that.
Almost like that.
Yeah, very similar. Okay, Y. Excellent.
Did you use an action Y or did you dash?
He used an action to
I
disengage.
actioned disengage.
Got it. Perfect.
So I didn't get to.
Cool.
I would probably be dead.
That's right. No rogues in this party. Okay.
Good job, guys. There will be after tonight. When we're all dead.
All 4 rogues, new characters.
New game.
It's me,
All right.
Frodo.
It is.
All right, Diz.
Okay, so I'm gonna use... God, tell me if this isn't allowed. I was gonna dash. Could I use half of that dash to come over here and toss Wyatt over my shoulder and then use the rest of my movement?
You can. So you can't use half of your dash, but you can use your movement to get up there. Right? And then, as long as he's willing to be grappled, grappling's still an action, though. Throwing him over your shoulder is technically a grapple. So you couldn't dash and move and grapple at the same time.
She could get to him and then pull him with the rest of half of her movement.
Yes, I'll let that happen.
It would just be double. It'll be half of whatever you have left. You can pull him.
Yeah, so
that would be
essentially...
another 15 feet instead of 30.
That's right.
Okay, then I will... As if I'm about to heft him over my shoulder instead. Kind of...
Tater sack.
Yeah, tater sack him a little bit. And
Yeah,
then
you
we
just
will
realize
move
it would...
15 feet.
You realize it would take too long to like try to get him over your shoulder and just take that time to stop. It's just easier just to grab him and just literally drag and keep running.
And why does that thing where you kind of go limp like he's about to be picked up, but then she runs and it like pulls him awkwardly, like almost like his arm out of socket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab him by like the scruff of his really, really nice coat, like you're picking up a little baby kitten.
Aw, so cute.
I need to make a... I'm going to roll to see if it tears the coat.
No!
That's fine. I got mended.
It does not, luckily. Okay. All right,
God.
great.
I'm much more nervous than okay.
No, it'll
Okay.
never forget me.
So, at this point, the guards are just going to chase you, and you are still pulling Celestina, correct?
She persuaded her to run
I
with her.
persuaded her to run.
Correct,
So I
but-
left her.
But it's Dungeons and Dragons, so it's not her turn yet.
Right.
So she's just standing there, and all the guards get to go before her, and she's within range. So
Damn
they're just
it.
going to go grab her.
I'll drag
So,
her. I'll
I
drag
know
her.
it's illogical. You know what I mean?
No,
It's just,
I got
but-
it. I follow. You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Well, it all happens at the same
So-
time, right? That's
Correct,
I'm only
yeah,
30
yeah.
feet then, so I'm still on the edge of the map.
Okay, so
I'd be,
she's
like, here.
so you're all kind of clustered right there.
In a nice spot for a good fireball.
That's right. So, let's see. Make sure I got the right card. I don't. 15, 15, 20, 20. Okay, so he runs over there. Actually, they all run right after you because that's 60 feet. They can all yeah. Actually, if they all dash, they can all literally get on top of you.
Cool. That's great.
And I mean, everybody can. Rad. So.
Say rad?
I say that frequently.
Mm.
All right, so he runs up, dashes up next to Y. He can't do anything else. He runs up and dashes up next to Celestina. He can't do anything else. He dashes all the way over here. And Captain Taurus says, "Stop! You were all going to be arrested. Everyone, lay down your arms!" And he's just barking orders and screaming into the night. He runs up right behind Y. And now it's Celestina's turn, and she books it out of there.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
So at this point, the way this would continue to go is you guys would run, and they would run, and you would run, and they would run, and everybody would be right on top of each other's heels, essentially. Correct?
And we would make constitution checks after we have dashed for the amount of times equal to our constitution modifier.
That's right.
Oh, right.
So here's what I'm going to do. First of all, where are you going? Right now, you're just running down this street that you just came down.
Can I use city secrets?
That's exactly
to get us.
Yes, exactly. Okay. You can.
That's what I want to use.
Okay.
Try to get us to a place the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Hide.
Do a side glance at Bash and be nod my head, remembering remembering that he had gotten us, snuck us through before and stuff, and that he knows those back alleys.
So, you have this kind of abbreviated conversation as you're panting and running as hard as you can. At this point, you realize that Celestina has hiked her skirts up above her knees and has wrapped part of her dress around her arm, and she's just running. She's just just booking it as hard as she can go. And then Sebastian's in the front. Do you get everyone's attention? Do you say anything?
I just say, follow me.
Okay. And then he just suddenly, without any warning, darts down an alley. You all scramble to follow with everyone close at your heels, and then he darts again, and then he darts again, and then
And is my mother following us, or she beelined off a different direction?
No, she's with you. In fact, one of her hands is clutching yours, so you guys are running hand in hand right now.
Yeah.
And
I feel her rings digging into my hand.
so this begins to look like, do you know those movies where people run and the wily criminal starts running over people's fences and jumps on their trampoline and someone's dog runs out and gets them and it's going over and runs through kids' toys and so it starts to look like that. You guys are running, you're jumping onto people's hedges, you're going through the archway into someone's backyard, and then he cuts down an alleyway.
Perfectly trampoline right before a big yard fence.
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
Climbed a fence that high before.
Go ahead.
As we're running, I'm going to change my face to Captain Taurus, and I will change my sword to look exactly like his sword.
Okay.
And just keep looking at it.
All right. I want you to make an intelligence check.
That's
terrible.
terrible.
You just did something stupid.
14.
And then it's fast.
No, that's basically just to bring up the city and to know where you need to run. So now, where are you going?
Fuck, man. I don't know. Away from here, but where we can get to my place later.
Okay. So you run southwest. So you dash straight across the busiest street in the entire city, Gate Street. to the south, you can see in the distance the gate. To the north, you can see the large obelisk that's been there forever. You continue into the Lantern Quarter itself, where the houses are even larger, but that means the alleyways between these houses are older and narrower. And I need everyone to make a Constitution check.
Save.
Save, yeah, that's right.
Hey!
Look at
I got
that.
19.
Ladies.
got-
Yes.
22. Natural
Wow.
18.
Oh.
Plus what?
No, Bats, no!
Plus what?
So everybody, I'll need to roll for Celestina, who's gonna just bomb it. She's gonna just kill it.
Probably just gonna vomit, let's be honest.
Celestina gets a 16.
Back in high school.
But if we're rolling for dash, I have a +3 modifier, so that would be later on.
So you're running. Actually, that is important. So, and all of you get to this point where you're just like, you've been running for a long time, and some of you don't run that often. But there's so much at stake,
True.
and you really, you can't even imagine what might happen to you if these people catch you. So you push through one after the other, and you continue on, and then finally you realize that you don't hear the shouting, and you don't hear the sound of their mailed feet on the floor, and you look, and you're just kind of running through these alleyways in the oldest part of the city itself. And at that point, Bass, you realize you are doubling over. You cannot run anymore. He's like holding against the wall as he's running, and he's like gasping for breath.
Take a second, lean against the wall, look behind us.
Make a perception check. Anyone who wants to.
Sure.
Which is off. It's like I might as well just tell the whole party to do it.
Seven.
Might as well.
Good old 7.
Oh,
So
Disney,
we've got
11.
two 11s, a 7, and a 4. Not the wisest party in the world.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
But
The,
we are
the map
started.
still the map still hasn't updated since we before we started running, when we were still fighting in a large group.
Well,
Just
luckily
a heads up.
for everyone, I'm going to put everyone out of their misery, take the map off. So there you go. We'll work on that later. We're going to have some technical issues as we get used to this.
First
So
game.
please bear with us. Okay, so let's get back to it though. All right, so you guys come to a stop. Bast he pulls himself up. He's still like breathing heavily. You stop and listen, and all Bast can hear is his own breathing. I mean, you don't see anything down the alley, but it's very, very dark at this point. I mean, it's the Lantern Quarter, but that doesn't mean that every single alleyway is lit. The rest of you look, you listen. You don't see, you don't hear anything. You don't even really hear people talking. It's so late. All good people, and this is one of the nicest parts, if not the nicest part of the entire city. Yeah, this isn't where people hang out after midnight. So it seems quiet.
To Sebastian. I still have Wyatt kind of like kitten style by the back of his coat.
Forgot
Just
about
like-
that.
Prop him gently up against the wall. So I have like one hand over his shoulder. Then I'm gonna look at Sebastian. And like one hand on like the side of his head, like I'm gonna like ruffle his hair, like, alright, buddy. And then I'm gonna clap their heads together Three Stooges style, like as hard as I possibly can.
Yes.
Dies.
Make an athletics check.
22.
You both
Wyatt falls unconscious.
I'll do it non-lethally if it helps.
take 4.
I mean, do what you gotta do.
You
We
both take
gotta take him out. We gotta take him out.
4 points of non-lethal bludgeoning damage.
Jesus.
I didn't add her strength modifier, so you're welcome.
So close to dying. Oh.
Yeah, so you do this, and you see their heads just like rebound off of one another, and Y is dazed. Like he just comes out, and but he's looking rough,
Yeah.
and that's when you realize
Something
like his shirt is red.
And so So specifically from that like cat carry is very comforting, like oddly comforting. Like would probably not admit that. But then so when she like does that, it completely throws off this trust dynamic Diz and Y are struggling with.
You're having a hard time.
Might be repaired, and then boom, and Y literally falls over and is like, yeah, I should have known. Like in his head, it's like, yeah, I should have known. And he just stays on the ground. I don't understand how I deserve that. I was literally following Celeste the entire time.
I like pick him back up. This time I get like properly. I get underneath his shoulder and like scoop him so that he's like over me. So it's a lot.
I refuse. I will not accept it that time. I will refuse. And just stay on the ground. Just don't touch me for a minute. I need it. I need a minute.
Right.
Move. We have to keep moving.
Where I didn't stop.
We just have to keep moving for a little while until we know we're not being followed. And then we can go back to my house and take a rest. Just catch our breath for a moment.
Okay.
Where's your father?
I don't know.
Celeste?
I don't know. He's not home. And I turn back to my mother and I'm like, you have no idea where he is.
I think your father is wherever he goes at night. I'm assuming it's work related. I hope it's work related. My God, is he having an affair? What is going on? What is?
Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe.
But
one thing at a time.
No,
just one thing
but
at a time.
Where does he work?
No. You answer a question. What are you doing? Why did they pull me out of my house? They took me out of my home. What are you doing? Why have you dragged me through the streets like a criminal? Answer me.
I owe you a lot of answers, but not right now. And then I like turn to Bashed and like nod at him like we should keep moving.
Diz, you have something to say?
I hold my hand out to Wyatt if he wants to take it to help himself up.
I will not. I will very, very slowly get to my knees and then my feet.
Wyatt, are you okay to move?
Huge pump knot on his forehead, like very visible knot on his forehead. Yo, I'm following you guys.
Let's keep moving. But what I'm asking is there a way that we can move towards perhaps where he works to see if we can get a look at where he might be? Not leave him behind if possible.
I turn to my mother and go, should we go get him? I'll let you choose.
I don't
Didn't
know.
let you choose this.
I don't know. You know him. Sometimes he's down at the docks, and sometimes he's here in a few blocks north of here. But it's busy there, and I don't know what I'm not good at this kind of a thing. Okay, we're not going to a fundraiser. Okay, like I don't know.
Celeste, not to overcomplicate things, but the whole reason we went to your house in the first place is because we needed to go pick up some of your belongings, isn't that right?
My books. I don't think it matters now, to be honest. I think we're wanted one way or the other. And then I'm gonna turn to Bash and be like, how bad is it if they find magic books?
I think that cat's out of the bag at this point anyway.
It's just...
I mean, it's not going to be good. It's going to be the same.
I think we're wanted anyway. Let's just go.
Well, where are we going is what I'm asking. Is there a way to find your father? Or are we just going to go try to lay low and say good luck to him?
I'm worried we're just going to make it worse.
Your call.
I'm gonna turn to my mother again and be like, what do you want to do?
Honestly, if we go to where he might be, if he's at his office, there are always guards there. I can't believe I'm saying this.
I turn to Bash
Look.
and go, what's leaving?
What kind of guards?
I don't know. The kind like that we just saw. We saw guards. I don't know. Sometimes it's Indale, sometimes Devar.
Well, it seems like they all answer, or at least this Captain Taurus. This is out of character. This Captain Taurus has some sort of clout. I don't know what his name is, but I've got his face now, and so I say.
That's right. Yeah, he's talking to you with the face of Captain Taurus. So at this moment, Celestina notices that. She's just been having a conversation with you and has really been focusing on Celeste. And then she says, she says, so I don't know what kind of a guard. Oh my, oh gods, oh, what is wrong with him?
Does anybody know what this guy's name is?
Do I know what his name is? Oh no, you said that I didn't recognize his name.
Yeah,
Sorry.
could I, so I didn't at the time, but can I like think back then and see if I knew who he was?
Make an intelligence check.
Because right now he's Captain Fancy Pants in my mind.
Captain Fancy Pants!
Okay, you do remember he is Captain Taurus, the head of the Harpoon Guard for Clan Devar, and he answers only to the head of the clan.
So he only
Lady
answers to Lady
Sylvania.
Sylvania?
Sylviana.
Sylviana. Yeah.
Sylviana. I think
Excuse me.
Sylviana or
It's
Sylviana?
it's actually Sylvalia. So I'm gonna
Sylvalia?
yeah. So I mispronounced it. I'm gonna put it in the chat so you guys can see it.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect.
Oh.
So as long as we don't run into me, then perhaps we can talk his way out of
Alternatively,
this.
He's definitely a
Concussed
lot
Wyatt is
higher-
very confused
he
with
has a
that
lot
sentence.
more- How easily can you do this?
Turn into Celeste. Pretty easily.
Wyatt
Don't-
sits down.
don't
This is
do
too
not
much.
sound like that.
Too much for like concussion. Just sits down.
Diz, go ahead.
Alternatively, if we did run into you with that ugly mug on,
Real bad.
no, we might have a chance to at least sow a bit of discord before we thought with our swords, You have us under arrest. You don't know who that imposter is.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a good point.
Just a thought.
It'd be better if I had his uniform on.
I mean, I know you're also not very great at waiting and talking, but maybe we could try it.
Does that spell change your height?
Mm-hmm. Yo.
You still look
let
like me. I need you to change your face. I need you to
All
change.
right, I'll change back into Captain Taurus. It's essentially alter self.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Just whenever I
like
want.
Wyatt.
Just whenever you
Wyatt
want.
is sit down.
So you really are just Arya Stark. Cool.
Thanks.
Cool.
I thought this particular invocation would be very useful. I can be. Oh no, it's not. It's not alter self. I think it's change self. Sorry. I would put it up on Roll20, but it is being a mother bleeper right now.
That will happen.
Anyway, let's move forward.
I picture Wyatt like sitting down, like looking at the ground with the concussion, and then finally looking up just as he changes out of Celeste and be like, "Oh God, not again!" and just like bury hands back into the knees.
Wyatt, are you going to be okay?
And he throws up a little bit.
I can go a foot shorter or taller. I can appear thin, fatter in between. But if somebody like starts touching my face, then the jig is up.
Okay, so you're a little bit taller than you were, but you're still not quite the full height of him. So if you did run into him, it would be noticeable.
Okay.
Wait, he's more than 7 feet tall?
Wait, how tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, a foot. You can be a foot
Yeah.
taller.
Yeah.
No, he's like 6'5", so yeah, you can totally do that.
I look like Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Okay. So, you've had this conversation. You're in the alley, and suddenly you hear voices in the distance. Hushed voices.
Pause for just a beat to see if I can hear what they're saying.
Make a perception check.
Anybody that wants to try and hear?
Yeah.
Well, we're a very wise group, so my 11 is pretty damn good.
Don't worry.
That's super
15.
solid.
Don't worry. I double checked all your passive perceptions. It was laughable. Okay,
I've got running 4s for perception checks.
So, Diz, you actually lean forward, and you don't quite get what they're saying, but you hear their footfalls, and it's definitely several people in metal boots.
Let's go.
Say it again.
There's more coming. We gotta make a decision.
Let's go to my father's office. Let's go now.
Where is it?
This way.
It's north of here, so towards the entrance of the Paragon, overlooking the little there's an opening west of the obelisk that looks out towards the grand church of Giovanna.
Do you know where the obelisk is?
Head
Get us
that way.
there.
All right, so you guys start.
Go the back way.
Yeah, so you stick to the alleyways. You make your way up north. You do hear more people out. I mean, this is the busiest part of the city. I mean, the primary market of Althandis is on the far side from where you are, on the opposite end of where the entire square around the obelisk. So it's where most people will congregate. So even at this hour, there are a few people milling about. You get up to the few buildings before the entire square opens up in front of you, and you are now, you think, Celeste, at the back end of your father's office.
Do you want to try to go in through the front door then? I look to Sebastian. Or should I try to go through the back?
What does the front door look like?
You're not at the front door, you're still in the back.
Okay, so is there a way to get a look at the whole area before we proceed?
Maybe we should just hide. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, try to get a look at the building, take a circle around it if that's possible.
I think maybe go through the back door if they catch you, but I don't think we should all go in. If we all go storming in, I think it's going to be
I'll
problematic.
happily stay outside.
I'll keep an eye on Wyatt.
All right, so it's a large stone building with large wooden beams that come up, very similar construction to the rest of the city. It's about 3 stories tall, but very squat, very wide building. You start going around. Does it have a back entrance?
It doesn't.
You look around the side. There is a side entrance. Usually when it's open, there's a lantern that's lit outside of it, and the lantern is currently off. And just past that point, so the alley you're looking at now, there's a building in front of it, and then past that, you can see the square. So you can actually see the square in the alley you're in right now.
Celeste, what's your father's name?
Gerald.
That's right.
Last name?
Ardenvale.
Sorry, I had
Sound
it
different.
earlier. Do you want to come in with me or stay out here?
I'll come.
All right, go check the door. Walk up, chest out, like I own the fucking place.
You don't see anyone. You check the door, it's locked.
Shut up, Wyatt. Anybody looking where I could pick the lock if I needed to?
I just said there's no. You don't see anyone around.
There's
Well, yeah, I thought you meant like there's no one in the building. I'm talking about like out and around.
Yeah, you're not clairvoyant, so you don't know if anyone's in the building or not. But you don't see anyone in the alleyway. There's nobody around that you can see currently right now from your vantage point. Well, maybe.
Right, I'm gonna try to pick.
But your character's not. No.
That's my point. All right, here is nothing.
Well, how about that? Natural 20 on your Thieves' Tool check. So you get up there.
Favorite thing that happened tonight.
It's almost like Wyatt picked that lock.
Wyatt feels sick to his stomach.
So you slide your tools in, and it's almost like you're not even trying. And you can it's a well-made lock too, but it's like you perfectly put it in to where you can feel the tumbler, and you just so the rest of you, it looks like he doesn't even try. He just starts to do it, and then the door opens, and it moves completely silent on these large, massive, well-oiled hinges.
Let's go. I say, let's go in a whisper. I realize that might be bad to whisper on this thing.
Everybody can hear it. It was fine.
Great. Slide in.
Right.
Shut the door behind me and lock it.
All right.
slip in after him.
So
Leave
Celestina,
my mother with them.
she says, absolutely not. No, I don't. You don't even know where he is.
She's coming with us.
So she's there. She's like not sneaking, but she's crouching. She's like hunching, right? She's looking around, still walking exactly the same,
Gonna be
heavy
such a
footfalls.
liability.
She's looking around. Every once in a while, she'll smooth her hair, which still somehow looks great. It's bizarre. It's just, you know. And she says, oh, it's up on the second floor. It overlooks the. It overlooks
Tina, no.
the.
Do you want to just lead? Just lead.
That's a very good idea. And so she starts to make her way over towards a stairwell. It's actually very close to where you are. She turns left. The next door to the left is a stairwell up to the second floor. At first glance, though, you don't see anyone inside. And make a perception check, both of you.
Just gonna say, Miss Ardenville, you're doing a great job.
Ooh, 18. I'm finally paying attention.
Yeah, that's the best perception roll anyone's made in a long time.
Ever.
There we go.
Ever.
4, 4, 3.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but you listen, and the only thing you can hear is some of the low murmurs from outside, from the square itself. But you don't hear anything inside the building. You guys make your way to the stairways. The stairway, you go upstairs, creeping slowly. Again, thank God for really nice construction. These beautiful, large, dark wooden stairs do not creak in the slightest. Even though no one told me they were sneaking, so I'm assuming you're just walking normally up the stairs. You make your way to the second floor. I can be a little flippant. It's a flippant reminder.
What is this building? What do they do here?
You don't know? Celeste, you haven't told your friends what your family does? We are financiers of the highest caliber to some of the most important trading routes in the entire area.
Would you say they keep a lot of gold here?
We're not
I
a
kick
bank.
you.
He doesn't understand anything about business. No, of course, we keep...
He doesn't. It's why I haven't told him anything about it.
And besides, gold is not important. We keep the records of debts owed to, and the... You know what? My husband can explain it. We'll be fine. And at this point, she's standing upright, completely normally, walking, talking like a regular person. She walks into the second floor as she's explaining all this to you. And she says, if he's here, he better be here. If we write down, and she starts walking down the hallway, and a door opens, and someone pokes their head out.
Oh, shit.
It is a young man, probably about 19. He's of slightly heavier build, kind of a ruddy face, blue eyes, kind of a hair pulled back into some sort of a messy knot, and he has little spectacles on, and he's
Respect.
sorry, what are you...
You there! Come out! In the name of the Harpoon Guards!
Okay. He steps out, and he's in a...
And then out of the corner of my mouth, to Celestina, I say, do you know this guy?
She's just staring at you.
Come forward, sir.
I'm sorry, Robert. I don't know what's going on. We are... Is my husband here? No.
Where is he?
I don't know. My person? My lord? I'm sorry. Who are you?
My lord, fine.
I don't know where... Oh, hi, Celeste.
Hey, Robert.
It's really late.
Do you know what time my father left?
Normal time. Sundown.
And where did he go?
I don't have that information. I'm still working on accounts.
Certainly. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Celestina, is there something wrong? Do I need to... No. Well, there will be something wrong if I don't find out where he... You know what? Everything's fine. Everything's just absolutely wonderful. In fact, I could tell you all about just how... And then...
I put my hand on her back and I'm like, it's fine. I'm sure he's just gone home and is waiting for dinner. We should go too.
Do I believe that person, Robert, doesn't know where Gerald is?
Well, that depends on your
Jeez.
insight check.
Do you?
Don't be smarmy with me. With your insight check.
Yeah, you're
That grin he's giving
good.
you too.
Make an insight check.
Oh, that's better than I thought it would ever be.
14. So, you look at him, he just seems genuinely kind of confused. He's wringing his hands a little bit. He's, every once in a while, kind of cocks his head to the side. If it's a deception, it's a pretty elaborate one, and nothing about him kind of speaks to that ability.
And was he speaking to someone inside of the office?
No.
Or was he just
Well,
okay?
not that you heard. You didn't hear him. You didn't hear voices in this room or in this hallway.
Okay. Look at Celeste.
Let's go.
So you all turn back around and make your way back out the way you came. And Celeste, at this point, you notice that Celestine is crying. Like her mouth's drawn tight, and she's kind of just quiet tears, and she's got her hands kind of like guarded up against her chest.
Okay. I kind of take my hand and stroke it down her arm and lace my fingers in the way I used to do as a little girl, right?
Yeah.
And just kind of play with her ring then a little bit, which is this thing I used to fidget with all the time when I was little, and she would let me play with it and stuff.
Okay.
And I squeeze it, but I don't look at her. Very purposely don't look at her.
Okay. All right, you guys make your way out without incident. You come
Sneak
back
as we go out the front door.
All right, make a stealth check.
Probably better that I don't.
Well,
We
I'm
were so good
openly
at that.
bawling, so it doesn't matter.
So
With my 4.
you guys come out, and you're focused on your mother so much that you don't notice when the hem of your dress gets caught in the door, and it yanks, and you go, "Wah!" and you just let this screech out and fall forward. Catch yourself on your hands.
Trying to catch her.
So you catch her just enough so she doesn't actually hit the ground. You help her back up, but you did let out a mighty yelp.
Bail on the sneak and look like we're supposed to be there.
Okay. You still don't see anyone in this alley that you're in right now. What are you doing?
They were inside.
Yes.
I'm gonna just kind of like awkwardly like keep my distance from Wyatt,
Yeah.
since it seems like he does not want to be disturbed right now. But after like a minute or two of just like 2 of us in an alley, that wasn't right what I did today earlier. I'm sorry.
Okay, kind of fucked up pretty hard this morning, and I think I kind of deserve that. Well, that and more. Less could lose a mom or dad.
It's worse. I wasn't. I know I'd agree with you.
I am.
Too long.
So, a few more moments that grow increasingly awkward and uncomfortable for both of you, until finally you are relieved to hear this loud screech from the alleyway around the corner from where you're standing, until you see your compatriots come back around next to you.
You're right then.
He's not here.
As soon as I see them coming without a random guy, I'll get visibly crestfallen.
Any other suggestions, Celeste?
I kind of like look at him and just slowly shake my head, and I'm like, I think we need to go.
Okay. And
Forever, since I'm at the docks, or who knows where else.
I'll lead them back towards my house.
Okay. You start to walk back through the same alley that you came down, and you come around a corner, and there are 3 guards wearing the exact same uniform that you saw from earlier there. And so, make a dexterity check to see if you can jerk back before they spot you.
It's the harpoon guards, John?
Yes.
Do all of us do that, or does just Sebastian, because he's the one in front?
I'm going to let the 2 people that were in the front, so you tell me your marching order. I know he's leading, but who's next to him?
Well,
Okay. So Y and...
ooh, 19 plus some stuff.
Yeah!
22.
Okay, so you guys... So Y actually jerks back, and it's Y moving so quickly that Sparks fast to kind of spring back and reflexively pull back as well. And you sit there for a minute, and there's no cries of alarm, no exclamations. You don't hear them coming forward.
I should try and ask them if they know where your father is.
I don't think so.
I mean, it could be our only shot to find him.
I glance over to my mother.
I don't know. I don't even know what we're doing out here.
I know. John, do I know anything about, like, what happens to people when they go and get questioned?
That's actually pretty far outside of your realm of expertise. You do know. Yes, you have a
Do
better
I
idea.
know anything about what happens when you get arrested?
Yes, you do.
Uh-huh.
So, Celeste, you do know that there's the House of Authority, which is like the judicial body of the city, and its building is very, very close to here. It's near the market actually, so it's very close to the keep that looks over the Dragonspan Bridge. But that's where the trials are. People are held and interrogated in the Underfort. The Underfort is the area below the Paragon. Because when you guys were sneaking into the Paragon through the sewers, that is like the initial level below the residential part of the Paragon itself. But the Paragon has a massive keep that is right beside of the gate that goes into and out of the walled compound. Under it is an area called the Underfort, and it is just as old as the rest of the Paragon. And so no one really knows how deep it is. No one knows the layout of it because it's jealously guarded. But that is where they lead prisoners, and it serves as the jail for Althandis, as well as where people are interrogated.
Familiar am I with the authority here?
You've never been to the Underfort, which is good.
In that,
You know
could
people that
I say
have.
with confidence he's okay as long as he doesn't know something? Like, would they keep him for no reason?
Yeah. So it's like so many things. It is complete. I mean, it all depends, right? I mean, like you would assume he's a rich guy from Fog Harbor. He's probably fine, right? I mean, that's your experience is that the poorer you are and the less you matter, the worse it is, right?
I half work.
Yeah.
Right.
A rich human financier, you're not worried about him.
And we also blew up the noble of the city.
Speaking of Celeste, do we know how well Gaman is liked within the Devar family?
So I do want you guys to roll stealth checks since you're having this conversation literally around the corner from 3 guards.
What?
That
I mean,
is
that's
awesome.
reasonable.
I'm killing
Yeah!
18.
22.
Damn.
Woo!
A 12, a 22, and what did you guys roll?
I got an 18.
20.
18 or 20, so that's a pretty
Oh,
decent group.
no.
Here, Celestina. 8,
Oh, fucking Celestina.
natural 18.
Nah?
Oh,
Yeah!
when you did this, I was like, natural one.
Mom!
Fuck. Like,
So,
Yeah, Mom!
so you guys are all
Because she's
hot.
silently crying.
She's so quiet when she cries, which is
She's so crying.
the saddest thing
I
ever.
learned that it's better not to cry
Think about it,
loudly.
though.
So you guys are
feeling wild
talking,
soul.
and so you're basically all huddled together. Your faces are very close to one another. You're having this conversation in very hushed tones, and you stop because you realize they're moving. You all just kind of freeze and look over your shoulder, and you see the guards walk past you. They stop within full eyesight of you, and then keep moving. They go out, continue on. You can all breathe a sigh of relief.
Last chance.
I
Okay.
think he's gonna be
Do-
better. He doesn't know anything.
Do we know how well Gamandavar is liked within the family?
Not really. I mean, these clans are huge, right? I mean, there's like cousins and extended. It's just a big, mass of people. So, even if you know some of the Devars or some of the Indales, you know those people and maybe who they know. So, unless you're really versed in clan politics, then not really.
And after the guards leave, Wyatt, if you ask that out loud,
I do.
after the guards leave, it's less of a nuclear family sort of situation than I think you're thinking of. That they're really old families. There's hundreds of them. He could be anybody, or he could be next in line. It's kind of hard to say.
Don't you think that if he's not particularly liked or he's not particularly well connected, that maybe he would not be as believed as a bunch of witnesses saying he tried to kill us on the dock and we were trying to defend ourselves?
Do you think that maybe that ship sailed after we,
Ran for our lives?
and then tried to
Ran
murder
for
a
our
lot
lives?
of guards in the street?
And then protected your mother? I mean, I think all
Do you
this
think-
makes...
Wyatt,
You-
I'm not meaning to be insensitive, but how much money did you grow up with?
fair amount.
Right.
If we came up against the nobility of this place, like I think Diz is alluding to, or nobody. Like Celeste seems, the Ardenvale family seems like they're well off, but there are two classes. And we ain't the one.
Then that's to be alright. You, I've seen disembowel somebody from 60 feet away. You have the ability to shoot fire out of your hands, and I'm myself. So the three of us, I'd be a bit worried about.
Celestina blinks and goes, they can do that. They can, I'm sorry.
I mean,
So-
I seen him do it. It's a really clever little contraption. Hey, show him your sleeve, Wyatt. See, it's just a little bag underneath, but, to the untrained eye, it does look a little bit spooky. She said, lying as hard as she possibly can.
So hard.
Okay.
Why?
Can we go somewhere where there's tea, please?
It'd be lovely, miss.
I don't have tea, but I have liquor and wine.
Wine. Wine's like tea, but better.
Let's go. I'm gonna meander to, or not meander, take a route obscured to my house.
Okay.
So as not to be followed, just in case.
Make a side note. I want that crocheted on a pillow. Wine is like tea,
Like
but
tea,
better.
but better?
All right. If Miles is listening, he's already looking it up on Etsy. All right. So so you guys make your way. Make stealth checks, by the way.
B.
Natural 1.
Better! 18.
Natural 1 for a 4.
Beautiful. Luckily, it is a group check. Man, the guys are just okay. So this is kind of awkward because you guys are you're going through, but Celeste won't stop talking. Celestina won't stop talking. She keeps whispering about how nervous she is. She keeps worrying about things. She keeps saying, "What about this?" And, "Oh my gosh!" And so she won't stop talking, and Bast is uncharacteristically like he'll just look around a corner and just stand there for a second, and you could tell. I mean, like he's trying not to be, but he must be nervous. And then on top of all that, you have Y, who is walking and just drops his bag, and clatter, clatter, clang, 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 and he's picking it up, and then like he it's the kind of thing where like he picks it up and he's trying to hurry, so he walks forward and something just rolls out in front of him, and he's like scurries forward and it starts turning like bright light and then off and then bright light and off as it rolls, and then he's just like he gets it, and so it is not a quiet.
When I get it all back in the bag and on my bag, I'm gonna look at all of them and their guilty ass faces looking at me, and I'm just gonna point to Diz and then point at the huge fucking knot that is causing the concussion, and then just put my hand down.
And by some miracle of the divines that live in the Blessed Isles somewhere far to the west, you find your way to the large boarding house that is the current residence of Sebastian. You slip inside the doorway. You make your way up 3 flights of stairs into a large hallway. You go to the door. He opens it, and there is the surprisingly spacious quarters of Sebastian, and that is where we're going to take a break before we finish the game out.
Awesome.
So,
Gotta pee.
thanks everybody. Hold on just a moment. We're gonna all go grab some water. I'm gonna take my dog out, who my wife has texted me 3 times, and we'll see you in a minute.
In the chat, there are links to our Twitter, to our Instagram, and to a community Discord, and to a YouTube where you can find past episodes and VODs once they are available. Okay, everybody pee. Right now.
Right now. but maybe, yeah.
That's how I discovered my 3rd belly button.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to turn this off again, and we're going to come back. Okay?
No, I want to hear the story.
Now we're going to re-enter.
It's just going to get weirder.
We're gonna. I can't pull back that curtain. Okay. So unfortunately, we're back. We learned a lot about each other. Learned a lot about T, and I know T is also a current term people use that I don't know what it means, but anyway, something, and that's the T. What does that mean?
Oh, okay.
Is it because
Are you going to inform us?
Is it because truth
No,
starts
I think it's
with
better
T?
if John doesn't know.
I don't know.
With every new gray, I forget something about modern culture. Okay, so let's continue on before I embarrass myself further. All right, so you are now looking into the spacious quarters of Sebastian. You're all still catching your breath, your heart's still pounding, but you've made it, you're here. And as far as you know, no one knows this location. At least that's what Sebastian believes. So,
Can I do a quick
Sure.
perception check as we duck into there? Make sure no one was right behind us.
sure. Basically, you'd be looking around in the building itself, right? I mean, because you're already inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you look up and down the hallways and the stairs as you go, and no doors open. You don't see anyone glancing out or standing in the hallways.
Okay. I help my mother to a chair.
Okay.
And then turn to Sebastian and be like, "Do you have any of that better than tea?"
Who wants wine? Who wants liquor?
Like, very fancy dress still on. And as I'm, like, more primly and, like, more delicately than I have been moving a lot these days, I will, like, set myself down and then immediately dig, like, in my shirt and, like, pull out my flask and just be like, I'm good.
Same. I'll pull out mine. I'll sit down just against the wall.
Okay. All right. Celestina sits down woodenly. She's still upright and proper, but her gaze is kind of unfocused, and she seems pretty out of it.
I'm gonna sit on the floor next to her and kind of like spread my skirts out and just kind of put my head on her lap.
I will thank you for your hospitality. thank you for your kind words and offer. Any kind of a red that you have would be wonderful, preferably from Petchar or Valash, especially from the River District. But it doesn't have to be that. I don't know what vintages you have. Preferably nothing over 3 years, but
Whatever wine I have, I will pour 2 glasses, one for Celeste and one for her mother.
okay.
And then I'll pour 3 glasses of liquor.
Okay.
And then I'll walk over and hand the wine out. And then I'll hand a glass to Diz and a glass to Wyatt and say, I know you didn't ask, but if you'd do me the honor. And hold a glass up.
What kind of liquor is it?
It's not moonshine, because I don't think everybody has that. It's probably like some kind of whiskey. Yeah, it's whiskey. It's not super nice though.
But it's actually a local, it's a local whiskey from Althanis itself. So
And not to be a pedant, but like, what shelf are we? Middle?
so
Oh my
they're only
Awesome.
no, it's
Did not
great.
see this coming.
Great question. There are only 2 shelves in all of Althanis, right? 'Cause-
Okay, so I would know what this is all I'm asking.
Yeah, but here's the good news. It's basically the stuff that no one should drink is the bottom shelf, right? Like, yeah, exactly. Like it's like, you remember when gin used to make people blind? It's like kind of that area. But then there's no major factories and stuff producing alcohol, so it's all like family-owned craftsmen who make the other stuff. So this is like one of the kind of the most affordable family-crafted spirit, brown spirit that exists in Althanis. It's from the Wall Quarter, where all of the distilleries are.
And I'll cheers everyone, and after we drink that, I'll wait for Wyatt to take a hit off of his flask, and then wait an appropriate amount of time before asking.
Does
for a
Wyatt
flask.
Wyatt, you don't drink? You just drink your flask, or you drink that and then drink your flask?
I take it from him and just kind of stare at it and don't notice when everyone cheers and drinks it, and it's just like playing with it a lot longer.
Oh, Wyatt.
And then looks up and realizes and takes it.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, after a very long, that takes like a embarrassing long time. He'll get out the flask, but not pay attention again.
Do we need to like how does Wyatt look? Do we need to like medicine check him?
He's injured.
I'm stumbling.
Yeah.
along.
So
Do you have any more of those things
Saul?
that you gave Celeste and Diz?
No, I already used one on me. That basically just brought me up from the headbutt. But no, I'm fine. I'm fine health-wise.
So
Thanks, though.
Celestina looks over and sees this conversation. What is? Oh my God! Oh gods! Oh Javanda! Oh what? So you need to take off your shirt. He needs to take off his shirt. Do we have you? We do have. Of course, we have spirits. This entire room. It's all I can smell. So I'm going to. And so she goes over and she says, "Is your shirt off? Why is your shirt not off? Why are you staring at me?"
I love her so much. I like look at him. I'm like, she knows what she's doing.
This is just like a lot to take in right now, and so it happens like almost by just mechanically, but very hesitantly to begin with, and then.
So the wound is still like kind of weeping a little bit.
Sure.
Go ahead, Diz. What are you gonna say?
Have I heard your surname used at any point?
I don't think so. But I do think he asked. You know what it is though, because
Sebastian asked.
Yes.
And
Mrs. Arvindale, unfortunately, he may have That goose egg there on his forehead. You might need to speak a little bit more slowly.
Oh, he's okay.
No, not usually.
No,
No,
not.
he just bunked his head a bit.
Debatable. So when she tells me to do that, I'll like raise my shirt up to where I got stabbed, but I'm not taking it off.
Yeah. So she kneels down in front of you, and she reaches out and grabs the bottle away from Sebastian, and she rips part of her dress off of the hem, and just gets it nice and soaked. And she says, "This is going to sting just a little bit, dear, but you look like a very brave boy, so I know you can be okay. Okay?"
As soon as I see her start wetting that thing, I know what's coming, and I just take a very long drag off it. And all right.
She lays it up against you and presses, and then she just starts vigorously wiping that whole area and cleaning it off. And yeah, it stings terribly, but it's also not the worst pain you've ever experienced, right?
No. But at the same time, like, trying to keep it together.
Yeah, I mean, he pales, right? But then
it's not fun.
Then the rag is what is now a rag. Her bit of dress is gone. She throws it into the floor next to her, and she reaches into a little side pocket that's in her dress, like a cleverly hidden pocket, pulls out needle and thread, and leans forward. And she's just like, "So this is going to be a little uncomfortable. I've never done this before, but you look kind of like the same color as a curtain that I once repaired. So if you could just..." And then
go for it.
She inexpertly sews your wound shut.
If she starts sewing it and I notice that it's poor, then stop her.
It's more that she has to get the texture down, which is a great experience for Wyatt. And once she does, she's very good. She's actually very good at sewing. So,
an excellent seamstress. She made the dress I'm wearing.
That's correct. She sure did. So, P.S. Celeste, you have no idea what's happening right now. Like, this is so far outside of the any way you've ever seen your mother.
Sure. Like maybe she kissed a boo-boo, but she was not like, "Oh, I'm a freaking nurse."
Right.
Okay.
So then
I'm like,
so when she's done, she gets up, she wipes her forehead, turns around, there's a smear of blood on her face, and she says, "Oh, well, now, I think the wine is starting to help." And she goes and she sits down and she takes another big sip off of her glass.
Thank you. As I look down, it's like, pretty well done. I really appreciate it.
I need to tell you all a story.
But interesting segue. Okay.
Like, knock back the rest of my drink.
Yeah, so you guys look over and you hadn't really noticed, but this whole comical situation with the mother, when you finally do turn and look at him, he hasn't really been watching or laughing. He seemed distracted, and you turn and there's almost a mournful look on his face as he utters those words.
There was a gentle and kind woman in De La Vire. What her family's name was or where she came from, no one really knew. She was kind and she was gentle, but she was also a whore. This isn't a term of disparagement, but more a description of employment. Wasn't a life that she had chosen for herself. There's no history, no name to speak of. She did as many women are made to do and picked up the oldest craft in the world. And when she died, she left a child behind. The The women of the house tried to take care of that child for a time, but he wasn't their problem and not their blood, and he had a wildness inside him. So he left and grew up in the dark and forgotten places, in the shadowy cracks of the forgotten, glimmering city. And Sebastian's eyes start watering up. He learned the high court of the streets, the nobility of the pickpockets, and the gentry of the cutthroats. He tumbled further and further into the dark places. And then he met her. Or rather, she found him. She found him, and even though she was younger, she still took care of him. And not only saved his life, but his soul as well. Or she did it as best as she could. So they survived together in those relentless, unforgiving places by relying on each other and not much else, until they found others that they could trust. And years passed and they built their family, but she was always the guiding star, the beacon of hope, and they were able to stay just one step ahead.
As he says those words, I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Three.
What'd you get?
23.
Okay. All right. Continue.
And then they found a way out, a way for them to finally get away, to forge a new life. And disaster struck. The wrong people were crossed, and fate would not allow them happiness for more than just a glimpse. They were betrayed by someone they trusted, and she was taken. And though he knew his life was forfeit, he would do anything to make sure that she was safe. And he puts his head down, and when he picks it back up, it's like water all around his eyes and streaking down his face. I genuinely care for all of you. And he looks at Celeste. I'm so sorry.
I'm a bitch.
It's about that time, as you've been listening to this, you find yourself getting more comfortable in your chairs. Some of you lean back. And when he starts to talk about the betrayal and then he starts to move forward, a few of you, those of you who rolled above a 20, you realize that you're feeling heavy. Your heads are kind of drooping a little. Your eyes are staying open, but you're looking at him, and then when he says, "I'm sorry," that's when it dawns on you. You can't move. None of you can. And anyone who rolled under a 20, your eyes are starting to... You look over and Celestina is already... The wine goblet drops from her hands into the floor. A moment passes as Sebastian, the tears now slowly dripping down his face. He takes his gaze away from Celeste, who at this point follows her mother, and drifts off, slumping into her chair.
Sorry.
Wyatt, it's okay.
My entire computer shut down for some reason.
It's alright. Wyatt and Diz, you find yourselves completely relaxed in every way, shape, and form. Your muscles are just completely gone and slack, but you're not asleep. Your eyes are still open, half-lidded, and even though your head tilts back, you can still move them slightly and look down and see Sebastian as he starts pacing restlessly at the foot of his bed.
Sebastian stands up and takes. And then he's going to come over and rap Wyatt on the head.
Wyatt's so injured at this point. Yeah, it's not going to take much. So he slips into unconsciousness.
And then look over at Diz.
I can't move at all.
No.
And then he's going to do the same to her.
Can I spit while he does it, or does that count as movement?
So you come over to her and you raise your hand and you see like she's going and like just a dribble goes down her chin.
You of all people should understand this.
So D&D rules say you'd have to sit there and beat on her head for about 15 minutes. So
I don't think she's got an awful lot of hit points left either.
I haven't been touched at all.
she hasn't been touched at all. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were still busted
No.
from being killed the last time.
Nope.
So-
I second winded, and
It would be easier for you. I mean, like to just literally just turn her around and bind her or something like that than it would be to beat on her head for 15 minutes.
Well, I don't want her to get up and tear out of the bonds either. So, I mean, just knock her unconscious.
Okay.
However long that takes.
All right. So now Wyatt and Desdemona are unconscious, as are Celeste and Celestina. You stand over all of their bodies as they are laying there on the floor.
Search Wyatt.
Make an investigation check.
I would like to use inspiration.
Okay.
Really good. I like what Wyatt's doing there. I see that. Yeah.
that's what you get, bitch.
What? Oh, you can't find anything in my body?
Really itchy.
Oh, sorry. Were we supposed to keep this one clean?
Oh god, look at that. That's just
we
crazy
were.
what's
I
on the
got
end
that
of
a
it.
long time ago.
Oh, okay. Charlotte did it.
God,
Let me...
I fucking knew this.
So, all right. So you go over him and your hands are shaking. You're looking through his belongings and I mean he's completely unconscious. The DC is not going to be very high on anything, and plus you can you've got some time, but it takes you a long time. I mean, like you're pulling stuff out of his pockets and it's like falling into the floor, and you find a key to his room. You find like most of the stuff that's on his body is they're in these little pockets and like in these like once you actually pull his jacket open, the inside of his jacket is just crazy. I mean, they're all these like intricate little pockets and patches, and I mean, you can't make heads or tail of it. But you find a bag and a book.
Open the book up.
What languages do you speak and or read?
Oh, Jesus. Volian, Vorian, and Rye.
Okay. So, at first blush, you look at it and you go, "Oh, this is in Volian." Like it's a weird. It looks a little weird, but you're like, maybe it's like an old form of Volian, and you start to read it, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like it's jumbled and strange, and you start flipping through it, and there are diagrams and like designs, and you have no idea.
What's in the bag?
You look in the bag, and it doesn't look like anything's in the bag, but you can't see a bottom.
Reach in the bag.
It's that,
So
not the
you
bag
can't
of
do
holding, but
anything.
that other one that, like, you just,
It's a bag of holding. I mean, like you made a bag of
Other-
holding. It's a bag of holding, but
Turn the bag upside down.
It is trapped.
hell
Close.
yeah!
what does the trap do?
I'm just fucking with you.
Nah,
I
no.
didn't think.
You can't trap a bag of holding. I know. All right, so
I mean, there might be a
They
way.
stuck it on the bottom though when you go to turn it upside down.
so
Suck you into the astral plane.
typically though, yeah, it's like you just go through. No, but typically,
So there are bags of holding that will pull you inside in the
I know.
D&D universe.
yeah.
I was
What you
gonna
got?
say that-
Yeah,
So-
I forgot about that.
Let's keep going. So, but this is a traditional bag of holding, right, Jeff? So you basically know what you're looking for and you pull it out. So, what are you looking for?
I mean, I don't know how to operate a bag of holding.
That's
I
right.
would
So
imagine.
you reach this bag. It's showing
Make an
you this.
Arcana check?
Yes.
Oh, got a big modifier on that one.
Okay.
That's the one I.
You actually have heard of these bags because they're quite popular in Dalevi. They're not allowed to leave the city. They're legal outside of the city walls, but inside the city walls, well-to-do people often have a bag of holding. So you are aware of what this is.
All right, so this guy I've been sent to find. What might I find on his person if I were looking for it?
There's one major characteristic that you know of that you're supposed to be looking for. He's supposed to have a scar on his face, on his jaw right here.
Oh, does he have a beard?
Yes.
Poke around at his face.
Save him.
God damn it.
I'm just gonna
Beard
shave.
now!
I'm just gonna shave half his face.
You start getting in there and looking, because it's a thick beard. So you start pulling at it and looking at it, and you look, and there's a burn scar about 2 fingers wide on his face.
That's good enough. That's good enough for me.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, I mute everyone.
Nah,
Tie.
not gonna be that easy, bud.
Tie. Yeah, it's awful. Tie Diz up and roll Wyatt up in a carpet.
Celestina bursts to life and knocks you into no, I'm kidding.
Don't make me hurt Charlotte's mother. Please don't do that.
She
Bursts up and she goes Super Saiyan and hits me with a fireball.
She's a 15th level monk, so it'll be very quick.
God
Anyway.
damn it.
No, so yeah, so you bind them all fairly quickly. I need to roll to see how long they're out for, actually. Okay. And by the way, you don't know how long this is going to last.
Hopefully not terribly long.
It's been about 15 minutes with all the stuff that's been going on so far.
Okay, I'll, Oh, man.
What are you doing, bud?
Take 50 gold out of my money pouch and keep it, and then leave the rest of it here. So hopefully they can buy their way out of the city somehow. Take Wyatt to where I am supposed to take him.
How do you take him there?
Roll him up in a carpet and throw him over my shoulder as Captain Taurus.
Alright, so you go and you spend another 10 minutes rolling him into a carpet. You can just lift him and the carpet together with your strength. And you head back out into the night and begin to make your way to Greatport.
And if I see a horse, I'll steal it.
Let's see. You do not.
Oh, that makes that decision pretty easy.
So you make your way down and you pass some guards, especially at the bridge leading to Market Island. They don't particularly seem to be interested in you. You don't really.
He's carrying a body.
Carrying a body in a rug.
He's carrying a rug.
Carrying a carpet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
yeah.
But you can usually tell. I've wrapped a body in
Yeah.
a carpet before. To film.
Mm.
Not to actually
When
kill
when I lived in Los Angeles, I was on a bus ride, and this person gets on with like a body bag, and the bus driver goes, "Is there a body in that?" And the guy goes, "Look it off here." That's it. That's the end of my story.
Distributed.
So I rolled to see. So I mean, it's just
Sure.
luck of
That
the
makes
dice. They didn't stop. So you get down towards Market Island. To the far end of Market Island, to Greatport. At this point, Diz, you wake up, but you still can't move. You're awake. You're bound. And your muscles are still slack. It's been about 45 minutes since the initial part of this whole thing happened.
I see.
You are looking at a wall sideways. Like you're on the floor.
And I can't move.
Hmm.
Can I speak?
Oh,
Yeah, alright.
I mean, if you really concentrated, you could speak a little bit, but even the muscles in your throat are relaxed.
I just make whale noises, I guess, until somebody answers me.
Okay. Disturbingly, you do that for a while, and I mean, you can hear breathing behind you, like the deep breath of someone that's asleep. You can hear two people sleeping behind you, but you can't see them. You can
Two
barely
people?
see like a chair leg above your head at the edge of your field of vision. Yeah, you hear two people asleep behind you.
I make a whale noise that kind of sounds like the words "son of a bitch," but it's really just muffled.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo style. I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, you pass two more guards going into Greatport over the bridge, and they do stop you. One raises his hand. Whoa there. What's with the carpet?
Pull my hood back.
Hi.
And he looks like Celeste.
It's always somebody that doesn't know who the person is that I am impersonating.
This is a city of thousands of people, dude.
Do you know who I am, boy?
No, some courier on a rug business? I don't know. Is this a trick question?
Captain Torres from the Harpoon Guards. Stand aside.
Make a persuasion check. So make a deception check. Pardon me.
I think it's the same.
I think you're the same.
God.
Oh, he's the okay. So I don't want to know what's going on with the carpet.
Think carefully about the next thing that comes out of your mouth.
Okay, all right. Have a good night, sir. And they go to the edge of the bridge and let you pass.
Who can I be that everyone will know and leave me the fuck alone?
You're from Dalevire,
Keep
dude.
going.
You know very well that nobody would. Anyway, all right. So you keep going. Once you're into Greatport, Greatport's always busy. There's always people about. There are always
That's
sailors
like
coming from somewhere.
2 in the morning or something, right?
That's right. It sure is. It's very late at this point. But there's still people about, but nobody really cares. And the people that are out right now are wasted or up to no good. And so they're not like, oh, what's that guy doing? So you kind of go through. I do want you to make a deception check now that you're around a lot of people. Though.
Can I city secrets myself over there?
Yes, but I want you to make a deception check.
All right, that's fine.
Am I awake at this point?
You are not. Oh wait, yes, you are awake, but you can't move.
Can I start doing whale noises like Diz?
Yes.
So you two are just sitting there going,
So
"Whoa."
as you're walking through and you're trying to kind of like, the issue
What
is
check
this.
am I making? Deception?
Yeah. Just to make sure, to your presence, your gait, how you're walking. Yeah. So you walk with like a.
My whale noises give him a disadvantage.
Your will noises will play a part. Don't worry.
Cool.
If
Just
I
keep it
hear
up.
him making noise, I'm just gonna walk in an alley. Now he has 3 knocks on his head.
Being 10, are you happy?
You want me to start
Not
making
happy.
death saving throws?
No, I'm not gonna.
I'm not.
-2.
That's luckily for you. That's not how being knocked unconscious from non-lethal damage works in Dungeons and Dragons.
I guess he didn't specify, so that's why I was curious.
It's non-lethal. Hitting a guy through a carpet is non-lethal damage. Okay, so you silence him again. You make your way down, and
We're gonna put a gag in his mouth this time.
You're gonna unroll the entire carpet.
in an alleyway, you don't have enough space.
All right, don't do that then.
Okay. All right. So at this point, you get down to Greatport. Diz, you can move. You can slowly feel like it's like pins and needles in your extremities, and it slowly works its way up your body, and then you can start twitching your fingertips, and then slowly but surely you ease yourself upright. You can clench your fists.
I bound. Is it behind my back or is it in front of me?
Yeah, it is behind your back. Yeah, so you're clenching your fists, but they are behind your back. Yeah.
Ignoring the pins and needles, I'm gonna try to like shimmy myself first into like a sitting up against the wall position.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna try to pull the maneuver where instead of trying to go over my head, I go like underneath my legs and then try to get my fists in front of me that way.
Make an acrobatics check.
That's a 9.
You're like, and maybe it's because you're still really, really loose and out of it, but you're like trying to pull and you just can't quite lift your body and get it around. But it's just not quite working.
Can I speak yet?
Yeah.
Celeste.
Just nothing.
Lady Arvindale. Wyatt.
You can see the rest of the room now, and Wyatt is gone. Sebastian is gone, and the big rug that was under the chairs are gone, and the chairs that you guys were sitting in previously are knocked over in the floor.
Keep disentangling myself.
Over time, you do work it down and you pull it up, so at least it's in front of you. Yeah.
try to either work the knots or just like see if I can undo them with my teeth or something.
Make a sleight of hand check.
13.
Yeah, with enough time, like, you know, if you guys do something and you have a lot of time, the DC goes lower the more time you take. So yeah, you eventually do kind of work it and get it off. I mean, like, they're good knots, but like, yeah, you kind of loosen it enough where you can slowly get it off, and you're free, and you free yourself and stand up.
Then I go over to Celeste. Just kind of like, I'm not actually slapping her, but I am trying to like wake her up.
Wait, cat does in the morning.
Yeah, but like a little bit more urgent than that.
She makes some like murmurs and moves, but she's still asleep.
Fancy feast. Okay. Was there any? I guess I checked Mama Bear. How's she looking?
Sleeping like a baby.
She
You do see what looks like the bag that Sebastian used to carry with him, and you go over and look, and there's 50 gold inside of it.
100 gold.
100 gold inside of it.
Yeah, like that's your blood money.
It's 13 pieces of silver.
Son of a bitch.
All right, so Sebastian, you're at the port now. You walk into the Great Western Docks, and this thing is getting really heavy. You've switched shoulders a few times now. Your arms are burning. Your upper back is burning, and you make your way, and finally you see the correct dock. You walk down it, and there are a few people hanging out in front of a large ship. Oops, just changed the wrong map. This is just for the players. I'm not going to show the rest of you. And you make your way over towards the dock, and a man steps forward, and you recognize him. It is the same man that you spoke with before. He crosses his arms.
I've got the package.
Right there.
Carry him on board.
Hey. Welcome home. Alright, so you go aboard. The ship's called the Holy Shard. It's a large trading vessel. Three-masted, big crimson sails, trademark of the Great Western. A sailor who looks like he's just tying something up sees you. He stands up, he motions for you, leads you down below deck, and down in the cargo hold there are cages. He takes you over, helps you put Wyatt inside one of the cages, shuts it and locks it, nods at you and says, "Your cabin's upstairs."
Sit down outside of the cage.
Celeste, you wake up.
I am currently like half-heartedly trying to get you awake and looking at this pouch of gold and going, son of a bitch.
What happened?
Sebastian knocked us out. He took Wyatt, I don't know why.
When
He left us with this though. And I
did
just
we
tossed
leave?
He tossed the gold like against the wall. Get up.
Yeah. Can I?
You slowly but groggily do get up, yeah.
I like
Okay.
hold out my hand to her, and like,
I like take it, pull myself
Take
up.
and then I will go take that gold actually off the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. I like reach out with my mind to the pocket dimension where my familiar is, and like pluck her out. But instead of plucking her out as a spider, I want to pluck her out as like a seagull.
Wow.
Like, and then open a window and be like, Astra, could you see? Actually, make her a hawk. Probably better. I was thinking a seagull would disappear, but hawk can see better.
Sure, if a seagull has dark vision.
Probably not. She just gets distracted and starts eating crabs.
Sebastian's like, oh, I can't wait to get some French fries before I go commit some treason. What the fuck?
What the fuck? And I'm like, I open a window and I'm like, Astra, I want you to go fly over the city and see if you can see Sebastian or Wyatt anywhere. Can you do that?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
And she throws herself forward. Do hawks have dark vision?
Hopefully.
I don't think they do.
I think they get advantage on their
Vision
whatever
checks.
check.
Hold on.
I think owls might have dark vision.
Yeah,
I could do an owl.
let's
Oh,
just
sure.
say it's an owl because I don't want to be really mean to you and be like, no. All right.
We'll do an owl.
I feel like
Third time's the charm.
somebody else has already been mean enough. So we're going to so you go. I want you to make a perception check for Astra.
Hold on. You want me to do a what?
I want you to make a perception check for Astra.
The owl has advantage on wisdom perception checks on hearing or sight.
Does it say what my perception check roll would be for the owl?
+3.
+3? Okay.
Dark vision,
Just roll a
120
20.
feet.
Just roll a 20.
Roll it twice.
Yeah, I did. Oh, right. Thanks. God damn it.
So this is going to be
Third time? Fourth.
But no. But like this is the first round, right? So she flies off and starts gains some altitude and begins to scan and fly around, and then you hear in your head, "I don't see anything. Is there a direction you want me to go?"
I turned to Diz and I'm like, do you have any idea where he would go? Any idea?
Hey. Go to the sea. That's where I go when I want to run somewhere.
Okay. Astra, try to go to the sea. And like think back and think like anytime that Sebastian has like disappeared by himself, if I can remember any direction that he's like walked off in.
No, I mean it's a different direction depending on where you were, and the sea. You're on a peninsula, so yeah. So like,
Okay.
what does that mean? Like where?
Is
Like
there a main dock that someone would leave
there's
in?
Great
or-
Port, and that's where you guys have spent most of your time is in Great Port.
Okay. Send the owl to the Graveport. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Wyatt, you wake up. Your head is pounding for some reason, and then no, seriously, when you wake up, it's one of those things where like for the briefest of moments, you don't know where you are. You can't remember why you got here. It's one of those things, but it lasts just for a moment, and then you're like, oh, and it all comes flooding into you.
I look around and like see my settings, and then turn and see the cage, and assuming I see that son bitch, and
Yeah, it's very, very dimly lit in here. There's one lantern on top of a stack of crates in the center of this very large cargo hold.
yeah, I like instantly know where I am and why, and I just turn back into the fetal position, facing the wall, realizing like not what I wanted, but I did just potentially lose Celeste and Celeste's mom, and maybe Dad, at least their home, but potentially their lives. There's a big part of me that feels like I deserve this, so I just kind of curl up and face the wall and ignore the traitorous face behind me.
Okay. Do you do anything besides just sit there, Sebastian? Okay. All right, so you stay below deck.
Do I have anything? I'm assuming I don't have my bag with me,
You don't.
but I do assume that I still have some of the stuff in my secretive pockets.
But the thing that bothers you the most is your hand always instinctively goes for the same place in your jacket, and the book is gone.
Yeah. What is around me besides some crates and such?
Not much. It's pretty bare. That there's a small cot in this cage with you. There's a manacle that is attached to the cage, but you are not attached to the manacle. And there's a small bowl next to the cot. The rest of the room is just crates, and it's obvious you're on a ship because you are, even though you're still in port, you're slightly rocking.
I'm assuming there's no like portholes or anything at this
Not in this
level.
room. Yeah.
Realizing I don't want to go back, I'm gonna lay down for a while. But then realizing I don't want to go back, I feel like there's only really one option. I'll stand and stretch, and then walk towards, like, if I'm against one side of the boat, I'll walk towards the other side and just kind of rest my hands on the. So if he's over here, I'm kind of want to face like 90 degrees from him. And as much as I can before I am stopped, I would like to cast my shit and burn the fucking boat down with me in it. So I'm gonna as many fire bolts as I can before I get stopped.
All right, so Sebastian, you're sitting there, and you turn and look, and a flash of flame hits the side of the ship and leaves this big scorch mark, and then boom, another one, and then boom, another one, and tendrils of fire start to lick up the side of the boat.
Someone's going to come down here and stop you from doing that.
And I will continue firing fire bolts as if he is not in existence.
Okay.
And if he comes into the room, I will turn and fire at him.
Oh, I'm right outside of the thing. I'm in the room.
But no, I mean like my cage.
I don't have the key.
Well, great. Then I'm going to continue firing fire bolts until we both burn to death.
So this is technically a cantrip, and you can just fire it all day long.
Forever.
Seconds.
By the time someone out of this room knows about this, it's going to be real bad already.
So,
But it is a.
correct. But I mean, you can burn a ship down with a candle if you get lucky. So,
And it's a cage, so there's like straw and shit. Come on, there's wood.
So, well, yeah, you're close to the side of the hold itself, so you're just firing it straight into the side of the hold.
Yeah.
And yeah, after about 5, 6, 7 hits, guys just fire.
Then I go to the next, like, across the ship and do the same thing there. So by the time they get there, I want multiple places for this to be burning.
Sebastian, what are you doing?
I mean, I kind of want to just burn to death in this ship, but also there's someone that is important to me that I'm doing this for, so I'm just going to kind of like watch him do that for a while. And then, I don't know, after like the 4th or 5th one, take out, I'll summon a pole arm of some kind that can reach through the bars and try to whack him if no one else is coming down here, if like people don't give a fuck about this.
Well, nobody can see down there. I mean, it's a cargo hold, right? So it's down the bottom of the ship.
So I'll try to whack him.
I will fire at my bed.
Okay.
Do you want me to make an attack roll, John?
I don't want you to, but I don't see any way to tell you to stop.
Do it.
Alright. I was hoping we could get away with not doing this.
Same. So is this subdual damage?
Yeah.
Misses. So again,
That would be a 13.
misses. So I'm gonna be lighting the bed on fire
Okay.
and my entire cage. So at least, hopefully, I'll die.
All right. Attack again.
So,
That hits.
16.
All right. And that's 8
7
damage. Does that knock you back out?
Nope. Said that was 8 or 7.
8.
8. Now I'll fire at him. Actually, no. I'll fire at his feet. Hopefully, there's something at his feet that will light fire.
Okay. So it hits the floor beneath him, the wooden boards. Yeah, and scorches them.
Keep doing that until it catches fire until I'm out.
At this point, you guys have been doing this for a little bit, and it's been about 10 seconds of just straight up flames, and so smoke is starting to go up into. And so if you look above, I mean, there's a lattice work of metal that goes, all the way up to the deck of the ship, and so smoke starts to go out of that, and you are beginning to hear like yells and cries above. Roll perception check for Astra.
Okay.
She has advantage,
That's correct.
and then +3.
Thank God. 'Cause that was a 5. 17 for the second, plus 3, 20.
So you're looking out of her eyes. She's looking down towards the docks. It's nighttime, but you can see surprisingly well. Everything is in sharp relief, right? And you're looking, and animals are incredibly attuned to fire. So she looks down, and you can see a wisp of flame coming up out of one of the ships at the dock. Still quite a distance away, but it was a very hard DC to make, but you just made it. You do see some smoke leaking out of a ship.
Okay.
I mean, that's not what you're looking for, though. You're looking for
Right. I'm looking for them. Okay. Astra, I want you to circle down as close as you can to that boat. Tell me what you see.
Speak to her. Are you saying that out loud?
Yes.
Okay. So you hear back at you. All right. I'll get closer, and then she swoops down and starts going as fast as she can to get closer to the docks and to that ship in particular. Sebastian, if you're going to hit him, try to hit him again.
I'll put my hands up. Like I've surrendered. The bed is on fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put my hands up like I've surrendered.
I'm gonna stupidly put a blanket on my mother. Like it matters.
Did Sebastian leave any of Wyatt's possessions behind?
There's some stuff like scattered on the floor as you look
There's
down.
a bag here too.
I've got half an ear on if Celeste is like kind of like muttering to Astra aloud as I'm like putting Wyatt's stuff back in order, and as much as I can putting like my captain's coat and like hat back on so I look a little bit more presentable.
I'll yell, bring the key.
All right, at this point,
Can I real quick? Can I look around? I didn't know that there's like a lattice work. Can I see anything up above me into like the next room, potentially where they keep the cannons?
no. So it's like the hold goes straight up,
Mm.
so they can move the lattice work and lower down crates. Right.
So I can see the next level up, right? Because there's lattice work.
Yeah.
Is there anything up there that I can see?
It just goes straight up all the way to the actual deck of the ship.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine.
Does he start looking around noticeably?
Yeah.
Sure. And
I'll thwack him again.
well, right before he does that, I said, I really hope you find, or excuse me, I really hope you find her, and I will fire at the ceiling in my cage again. Right when he does that.
All right. So
16 hit.
So
Yeah.
here's what happens. He says that a burst of flame goes up, all the way up into the lattice work, and you knock him, and you slump down onto the floor.
Try to pull him away from the fire.
Yeah, but that wall is definitely burning now. And at this point, sailors run in, and they look, and you see the same guy who led you in here. He goes, "What the fuck happened?"
Open the fucking cell. Get
So he
some
runs
water.
over there. You got the key? Who's got the? And so he's like going through his stuff. Celeste, Astra swoops down and looks, and I want you to make a perception check.
Okay.
So,
22.
okay. She
Nice.
swoops over and looks down, and you see the ship, and you see this plume of fire hit the opening of the cargo hold of this trading vessel. It's not a huge plume of fire, but you do see like this. You see fire hit, and like you can see the flames come out of the kind of lattice grill that's over the top of this cargo hold, and you can see it come up and out and illuminate down below very, very briefly. You can't see what's at the bottom, but you see that, and you know that no one threw a torch. Like something happened. Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
It's definitely a spell. And it reminds you. It reminded you of the same effect that you see from Wyatt's device.
Yeah.
And here's the next thing you see. As you're focusing so much on that effect, and you're almost in shock because it's the last thing you expected to see. And then your vision is obscured because the sails catch wind. They've already been unfurled, and so they're kind of billowing a little bit, but they're turned just enough, and you see the ship begin to move, and you realize that it's not anchored. And as you watch, the ship starts easing out of port.
Diz, they're at the port. I'm positive. I know why it's fucking handiwork anywhere. We have to go. We have to go.
Anything. I scoop her up. If she weighs less than,
You can
oh my
carry
god, I
her.
have
No,
right
you
now.
can pick her up. You can pick her
Yeah.
up.
Whatever 16 times 15 is.
Yeah,
I
we did
throw
math.
you like fireman carry you over my shoulder, and I'm booking it.
Okay.
I have Wyatt's shit in my pockets. I have my like scimitar on one hip. I got my whip on the other, and we're like just going.
So, Sebastian, finally the guy gets the key, opens it up. That wall is starting to go, but you see tons of other sailors coming in. They're throwing barrels of water, like just bucket after bucket of water up against it, and they pull him out and start binding him up. And the sailor looks up at you, goes, "The fuck were you thinking?"
I'm not in charge of him anymore. What's your problem?
Well, we're at sea, so I hope you're happy. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Okay.
I wish I could hug Jeff so bad right now.
Dressed.
Okay, so for those of you who are watching us for the first time, and that's everyone, we like to do this thing at the end of the game where we do our 3 favorite things. And unfortunately, there will be none of them in this game, but we're going to do them anyway. And so it's your favorite thing that happened in the night, your favorite role play part of the night, and your favorite thing that someone else did. No one will say Jeremy. So I know this was a crazy first session to have, but this is stuff that's been building up in the campaign for a while. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out next session. So, but let's go ahead and get started with our 3 favorite things. Who wants to get us going?
Hey, would you like to go?
No, let's go.
All
All
right,
so
she's going. So I will say my favorite role playing was Bash. Story time was incredible, and like this moment where I was like, "This is not where I thought we were going," then, and just like being sucked into that. My favorite role playing moment was Wyatt just beating himself up all night and then being like, "We are burning this whole ship down. That's it. Like, I will die with this." My favorite thing that happened is how badly, like, every time that Celeste tries to use, like, charm and persuasion, every time ends in bloody battle. I'm like, yeah, it's working. It's totally working. Yeah, I charmed the person. Yeah, it's suggestion worked. Ah, son of a bitch, we're killing him again.
That's true. That's pretty bad. Awesome. Cool. Who wants to go next?
My favorite roleplay was also Wyatt being like, "Huh. Well, I guess I have to kill myself. There's no other explanation."
Yeah, this is it.
Not that I'm happy about that. It was just like such a difference in like perception.
I know. I feel like I need a drink.
My favorite thing someone else did is also Sebastian's like sad tale. Although I feel a lot worse about it now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just stressed.
This is usually such a fun part.
Yeah, that's right. This was a lot. This was a lot.
Awesome, high five.
But we're
It's not fun this time.
we're starting with a lot of drama.
guys, you remember that time where Bass just scared a little girl and like stole her toy? We should have seen something coming.
You remember a few games ago where like
Nobody knows about any of that.
I think it's on YouTube.
Bash and Wyatt were having this nice like moment, right? And Wyatt was like, "I like Celeste, but I don't know about you yet." I feel like he probably made his mind up about you now.
Game when I was like, huh, I have a lot more respect for Sebastian than I did before, since it was hurt on sight from the first game.
So, let's briefly go through the 2 guys. If you had moments that you liked or not.
Yeah, I'll go. So Jeremy has to go last for being a horrible betrayer.
Good.
I liked Beth's story, but I also liked my favorite part of the moment was actually when Y realized what was going on, and it was right before he lost conscious and was like, "This might as well happen." It was that guilt. Go for it.
I don't want to interrupt, but like, just because I'm me and I constantly get made fun of for insight checking way too much in like every other game I've ever played, there was a moment where it just like instinctively he's like, he pours you a drink, and I just wanted to be like, "Can I just check if it's poisoned?" And then I was like, "No, why would she do that?"
So again, Jeff realized beforehand, and that was when I like didn't quite drink it, and John was like, "So you didn't drink it yet?" or whatever, like whatever his question was, and I was like, "Oh no," and
Gosh, you guys both had your own drinks anyway.
Didn't have to.
Yeah.
I know. I was just like, oh, this is
know.
gonna be funny.
yeah,
Gonna be
You
much-
guys,
it's gonna
we
be much-
trusted each
it's gonna
other.
be much messier a different way.
yeah, and then I think my oh man, I still like the connection with Astra. That's very adorable to me. So I think it would have been really fun to just imagine this thing that's been a spider its entire time on planet to then switch into an owl and
thinking
just be
about
like,
that
"Oh, I have wings!" Like,
Holy shit!
Yeah.
yeah,
If I'd had more time, I probably would have played with that a little bit more.
Right.
But it really wasn't the moment to add some whimsy and charm
Sure.
to the game.
And then yeah, I think that was all my, the thing I hate the most was not actually Bass Betrayal. It was the fact I forgot my accent when I wanted to say something nice to Bass before I tried to blow myself up, and I forgot my accent, so I had to start it over again. But besides that, it was good. It was real well done. And I just also really liked the moment Diz and Y had while we were just sitting awkwardly waiting for the others to fall out of that house. That was just fun to imagine.
All right, Jeremy.
I liked Misty stepping through the shadow. That was super cool. Description of that.
That was cool.
I've got thieves' tools written down in my 3, but I don't even know what that means.
Because you got a natural 20.
You money when you unlock the door.
And it means nothing to me right now, right? It's like irrelevant.
It's because you messed up one time and Y did it for you, and you got upset.
I'm also now all suspicious on why you wanted to find my dad so badly. I'm like,
It's, it's like feeling different things, right? Like you guys are great, and he has like legitimate feelings for this group, and then also this other thing is terrible. And this is like we'll talk about it more some other time.
What are the other things, bud?
This one has been a long time coming. So it's both a relief and a terrible burden at the same time for tonight. I'm excited for future. Like, I'm excited for the next episode, right? Like, I want to know what is going to happen to Wyatt, because I don't know. I just know that I was supposed to get him. I don't know why or what he did.
Right.
And I'm sure that, if he's like, I'm just going to kill myself, it's got to be pretty bad.
pretty bad.
Don't give anything away. Okay, so I think
that's my clip.
I think we'll go ahead and wrap up here. Thank you guys for watching. For anyone that's still with us right now, we really appreciate you guys. Welcome to the Resistance. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I'm really excited. For those of you who did not get to watch us tonight, hopefully you're watching us right now on YouTube. We typically try to have these up on Tuesday, so I'll see if I can make that happen. And if it's 15 years from now and you found this on some random corner of the internet, I'm sorry. All right, so from all of us here at Legendary Resistance, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
I'm gonna go cry.
Join the Resistance.